Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the McDonCast, the funnest podcast in town.
You guys didn't do it. You guys are not even looking.
No, Patrick is texting, and Max is checked out, and the show just started.
Alrighty, well, welcome back, everybody. We've got a show to do for you guys
Will
today.
it be good? Will it be bad?
Well, I would say it's a good show, but there's basically no news this week. Very little actually happened.
But Sam, we have such a great movie to discuss.
Oh yes, we're going to have a thorough discussion on Fast X, a brilliant
movie,
a motion picture,
A
that
movie
was
movie
made.
that we saw.
a movie so good.
John
Patrick
Cena,
fell asleep during
a
the
movie
third
so
act.
good. John Cena said yes to being in it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a mark of good.
It's a stamp of quality.
Exactly. Okay, let's get a brief rundown here. We got some Disney news. We got some big summer movie news, Arrowverse news, other different Disney news, and PlayStation news, which also is going to be, I guess, the only trailers we show this week's episode.
And it's happening right now.
It's literally happening as we're recording. So if we have a live... Did we have one of you guys monitoring the showcase in case they announce something so we can have
get
live
to it.
coverage?
Patrick is still here, everybody. Patrick, how do you feel?
Hey, I feel really...
Patrick says he feels elite. I don't know what that means. Should we be concerned about that? I don't know.
Is that a
No
positive?
No need for concern, guys.
Are you running for office?
I could.
All
Be
right.
that time.
It's that. Also, as we're recording this, Lil Ron Sanctimonious is announcing his his presidential campaign
On Twitter.
on Twitter. The space where that is done now. I
Honestly,
guess.
it makes... Okay. To get into the political McDonCast real quick. Everyone's
the
favorite.
McPolitics.
Mhm. Honestly, announcing it on Twitter is not that weird.
No, I mean that's pretty.
It's
that's
the
not
fact that
bad.
he's doing it on Twitter Spaces, which is a feature no one
Well,
uses.
not only is he doing it on Twitter Spaces, but during an interview by Elon,
Yeah.
Elon Musk is interviewing him, where he's like, "What? That is those ideas don't connect."
What is he gonna do? Go, now, Ron, are you running for president? Yes.
Yes.
No,
No, I think he's doing it on Twitter because Disney owns all of the news networks, and Disney's very upset at him right
if
now.
he was just to post a video on Twitter and that's how he announced it, that's what everyone does. That's not weird.
But then why wouldn't you just post it on YouTube where videos go?
Well, that's how Joe Biden announced his candidacy.
Yeah,
in
so why
2020.
wouldn't he do it? Why is he going on Twitter?
Because that's the free speech platform.
Unless you
Owned
say
by the
something
billionaire
mean
they're all
about
friends with.
Elon Musk, then it's no
No.
longer free speech.
That-
Or if you live in Turkey and your election coverage is
Sam,
suppressed.
we're only silencing the elections that the government told us to silence.
Yeah, that's not censorship.
No.
That's something else. Anyway, now back to the regular, non-political McDonCast. I mean, that's not really. We didn't really say any. We
No,
have
I
no
just-
opinions on political matters.
That's
unless we
right.
express
We're
them
all
outside of this.
apolitical except for Patrick, who is a staunch Joe Biden fan. Correct, Patrick?
Patrick actually once offered to donate one of his testicles to Joe Biden in the event that Joe Biden ever developed testicular
I did say
cancer.
that.
That was kind of weird. We weren't really
Yes,
expecting. We didn't really know what to make
Especially
of that.
since he had already cut it off at that point, and
Yeah, we
he
didn't really
need
know.
it.
That was really weird.
I don't
Anyway,
know why he did it ahead of time. He didn't ask. Patrick
tell
just
us
offered.
about Disney.
Anyway,
what are they removing?
Sam, Disney, like every other major corporate media conglomerate has within the past 6 months, realized that streaming is in fact not a profitable business model, despite the fact that they have spent
Oh, no
billions
way.
of dollars over the past 5 years investing in it. So, in order to cut down on costs and save some money, Disney is going to purge a bunch of content from Disney Plus and Hulu, including a bunch of original series. Would you like me to read the big list?
Sure, give me that big list.
All right, Big Shot. You watched that show.
I watched the first. Did they make any shows? Did they make any seasons?
They
after
made
the
a second
one?
season.
Okay, then I finished the show.
So you watched both seasons.
Yeah, I was
Are you-
invested at that point.
Are you sad to see it be disappeared
I
forever?
forgot it was on Disney Plus. So
The
no,
first season was okay.
how did the second season end? They
Insanely boring.
they played.
Did you watch it
basketball.
too?
I watched it. Well, I think I watched
They played some basketball and then the sign fell off and smashed the floor. I don't know what happens in the second season at all.
Season,
I
they,
don't
like-
remember any of it. I know I watched it though. That was a
Wow, what a quality television program. Turner
no
and
one
Hooch.
remembers what's
I have a
going
big shot. Lasted 2 seasons. Turner and Hooch. That's being thrown away. Nobody watched that show. I don't know why they made it. I don't know who said Turner and Hooch. That's a brand we should bring back.
I don't even know what's Turner and Hooch about.
Turner and Hooch was a movie from the 80s about Tom Hanks and his dog Sidekick. And then,
Did they solve mysteries?
yeah.
They do solve mysteries?
Well, it's like he's like a real detective. The dog doesn't like talk. It's a normal
Oh, so it's
dog.
a regular non-talking.
No, he's just like a policeman with a dog.
So it's just a regular mystery solving dog.
Yeah, but it's not a German Shepherd. It's like a what is it?
but he.
It's like a Rottweiler or something.
Basically, it's about ants, and there's this lovable dog, but it's wild.
Good show idea.
The Mysterious Benedict Society that got 2 seasons. That's getting removed. That was
Didn't
that
that one just
Tony
come
Hale
out
show.
recently? I feel like that.
I think it
came
just
out.
aired its second season.
Yeah, like a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's gone. Willow that came out 6 months ago.
Keepers.
That was supposed to be huge.
That was a multi-million-dollar project that is already being deleted. It's not even going to get a full year on the service.
They were gearing up for that to be like the big second
Apparently-
IP of Lucasfilm.
They had promised them like 5 seasons.
Well, a promise is only a promise if you don't make it to a.
Well, at least that's what like they
company.
were planning on. The whole arc was going to be like 5 seasons long.
Yeah.
Which is absurd for Willow. The making of Willow, that's also going away.
Well, who cares about how you made Willow? If
Yeah.
if you can't
Unless you
watch
want to be
Willow?
like, don't do this again. Like this is a threat. Like they keep it around. There's like
This
an
is a
instruction
this is a
manual
testament
for
to-
what
to
you're
your
not
failure.
supposed to do. Diary of a Future President that also got 2 seasons. That was an early on one. I
Did
watched.
that show ever get up to the point where she explains how she became president?
I think I either watched. I know I at least watched the first season of that show.
I think you watched the whole show.
I might have watched the whole thing.
because
That one was.
I remember the dialogue was really bad, so we tried to watch it with Japanese with English subtitles because that
What?
that makes it so like when because in anime all the dialogue is like ridiculous, but you're hearing it in Japanese.
but this
so-
was not an
so-
anime.
Listen, so it doesn't sound ridiculous.
Wait, is that,
so if you do that when an English show has really bad dialogue, it makes it better because you don't pay attention as much to how weird the dialogue is.
That is the most weeaboo thing ever.
But it does work sometimes. But it didn't work. The show was still
No,
bad.
it's not very good. That one was notable because that
we
was
did that for like 5 minutes. and
that
gave
was
up on
their
it.
first original series that was not produced in house. That was produced by like CBS, and then they bought it from them. Just Beyond, that was the R.L. Stein like kids horror show. I watched the first episode of that. That was it. The World According to Jeff Goldblum, which was their high-profile like National Geographic show. That one had been around since launch. That one also got 2 seasons. I remember I watched a couple episodes of that. It was okay.
Yeah, I feel like that one just didn't have staying power. Like that was gonna go away anyway.
It was pretty much just a show where like they'd send Jeff Goldblum to like a place,
Yeah, they just
and
like
then he'd be like, "What's this?" And they'd be like, "This is a jeans."
Well, that
and he
is
was like,
super
"Whoa,
crazy.
cool, that's cool."
Jeff Goldblum seems like a man who genuinely like grew up in like a gated garden and like
I
never
think-
experienced the
I think
outside
Jeff
world.
Goldblum was raised by aliens in an environment where they were like trying to.
You know the garden,
They were making a fake version of people, and like that's who he grew up
you
interacting
know the
with.
garden from that Steven Universe arc where like Pink Diamond
No,
had,
I
like,
didn't watch
humans
Steven
living in
Universe.
like a garden in space to like save
He
them.
grew up in like a.
He grew up in an alien space.
He grew up in a
garden.
parody version of Earth.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
essentially.
And then, so then Disney just takes him and drops him in a place. And he's like, "Wow, now this is a shoe, and oh, you said this is you running these?" Like that was every episode.
Marvel's Project Hero also been around since launch.
Remember what
That was
is.
about like little kids who were doing doing good in their church, in their like school community or something.
So why wasn't Stanley's Superhumans ever brought to Disney
It is.
Plus?
It's on there.
It is.
Yeah.
They never said it was on there.
Well, that's because no one cares about that show.
Well, it was cool when it came
Hey.
out.
When you watched it,
There
no
was
one
that,
else watched
There was
it.
that guy who like
I watched
hooked
it.
himself up to like electrical cables and like doesn't die.
I remember
That
that
was
one guy
crazy.
who put his hand in like a bear trap.
Yeah, he made a bear-proof suit, which I don't know if that's.
No. He like put his hand.
Guys, we got
like his
too
bare
many to get
hand
to. We
in a
can't.
bear trap. If you're reading off like every show, it doesn't matter.
The Right Stuff. That was a TV show version of the movie The Right Stuff, and they were also removing The Real Right Stuff, which was a documentary about the crew that was based on. The Cheaper by the Dozen remake. I watched that.
Which
Right.
one?
The remake. That's getting
Right.
removed.
Which remake?
Not the Steve Martin remake. They remade it again with
yeah, that's why I said which remake.
with what's his face from Scrubs.
I don't know anyone from Scrubs.
No, what Zach, is it Zach something?
The only thing I know about Scrubs is that they have the "I'm No Superman" song.
Zach Braff. It was Zach Braff.
I don't know Zach Braff.
Yeah, that's going away though, so no one cares. The one and only Ivan, that was one of those supposed to be a theatrical release, but then in 2020 they put it Disney Plus.
Read that book.
Bryan Cranston was in that, and he went on Instagram and he was like, "Hey, this movie I did is getting removed."
I saw that book on bookshelves a couple times when I was in 4th grade and never read that.
Stargirl, not the DC show, the one about the
No one's gonna know what it is.
what's
regardless.
America's Got Talent girl who plays the ukulele.
Oh, Grace.
Oh,
Vanderbilt.
the one who's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I know, that one."
Yeah, that movie's going. I watched that movie.
I
Sam,
saw.
she doesn't play by the rules.
Because if she did,
That-
she'd sound better.
That
Force! Straight force!
happening?
I don't know what this is.
that and its sequel are going away. Flora and Ulysses, which is that movie about that girl who has like a superpowered squirrel.
Oh,
I
you
saw
watched
that.
I
Yo,
read that book.
You read the book and Sam watched the movie.
That movie was really weird.
So
That
was the
so
book.
Weird. So why did that happen?
Oh,
And her
Sam.
mom's like a smoker, and then she tries to get her to stop, and she
No,
has
in
this like,
the-
squirrel, and then her cousin.
In the movie,
like,
she's not a smoker. She's just like an author who wrote like one book and like can't write any other books, and like she's running out of money. And then
yeah,
like
same. But in the book, she was.
I don't know if I don't think she was because the
then
movie
she,
would be
like-
rated R if she was a smoker
and
in the movie.
And then she like buried the squirrel.
Our
Yeah,
one of
I
the
think
one
it's weird.
truly one of the worst movies ever made, Artemis Fowl, is getting removed.
Hey, it's pretty bad.
It's one of the worst things ever made, honestly.
The only thing more foul than that movie
Definitely-
is something else that's
I will
foul.
tell you, definitely the worst movie
true.
on Disney Plus, and that includes all the old racist ones.
That's a big claim.
All right.
I'll stop you there.
The Princess, which is a movie about Joey King who beats up guys.
Love that one.
That's getting removed from Disney Plus. Oh, that is staying on Hulu. So they're just removing it from Disney
Thank
Plus. Oh,
God.
it's going to stay on Hulu.
Why don't they just do that with all of these?
Encore, which is another launch series that was about Kristen Bell doing like reuniting a school,
Okay, what is the value in deleting all these?
so they don't have to pay residuals. It saves on
They don't.
cost.
They already don't pay residuals.
Not to the writers, but other people who worked on the show. They have to pay residuals too, like the talent.
That's really stupid.
Yeah, so they're getting rid of that. Black Beauty, which was another movie they remade, that's going away. Clouds, America the Beautiful, which was a documentary series narrated by Michael B. Jordan. Better Nate Than Ever, that's going away.
Oh no!
Weird But True, Timmy Failure. We watched Timmy Failure.
Did?
Wasn't
It
Ron
was
Funches
fine.
in that movie?
What is that? Is that the one with the polar bear?
Yes.
Mhm. When the polar bear.
The polar bear was not in it enough.
because the polar bear was
It's
expensive.
'cause it's expensive.
Well, not anymore.
Be Our Chef, Magic Camp,
Oh, not Magic Kingdom.
Earth to Net, Foodtastic, Stuntman, Disney Fairy Tale Weddings.
Okay, can you skip to just the ones people have heard of?
Wolfgang.
Yeah, it took her
It's
like
a Dog's Life with Bill Farmer.
complaining that
The
we're
Big
taking too long,
Fib.
and then you're saying
I'm reading them.
talking about the big fib over
Okay,
there.
read the ones that are like important. We don't need to
None
know
of these
about,
are important. That's why
We
they're
don't
going
need to know
away.
about Big Fish.
Road Trip, More Than Robots, Shop Class, Pick of the Litter, Own the Room, Among the Stars, Family Reboot, Gina Yee, Harmonious Live, Pentatonics Around the World for the Holidays.
Oh no, not Pentatonics.
That was a Christmas special with
Dang, I love
Pentatonics.
those guys.
I remember seeing them in third grade.
now
and
we're
going,
in
wow,
Hulu
that's
stuff.
Everyone's
cool.
grandma really likes those guys.
Now we're in Hulu stuff that's being removed. Why the Last Man, which was a comic adaptation that took like 15 years to get made, and then no one watched and was
actually- wait, that
canceled
was on Disney
immediately.
Plus?
That was I'm on Hulu. This is Hulu stuff.
Oh.
Now. We're in Hulu stuff.
I didn't know they were moving Hulu.
Pistol, which is a TV show about the Sex Pistols, that's getting removed. At least I think that's what it is. Little Demon, which was an animated series.
Oh, that's the one with
Danny DeVito and his daughter did. That's getting removed, even though it just came out like 4 months ago.
Yeah, they were putting ads for that on like everything.
Maggie, Dollface. Dollface was a Kat Dennings show that had 2 seasons. The Hot Zone, The Premise, Love in the Time of Corona, Everything's Trash, Best in Snow, Best in Dough, Darby and the Dead, The Quest, Rosalind, Chefs vs. Wild, Fearless, The Inside Story of the AFLW,
Why are they only getting rid of bangers?
Life Below Zero, Next
What a good question,
Generation,
Patrick.
9/11, One Day in America, The Armstrong Tapes.
Wait a minute, we're getting rid of 9/11.
Yeah, Disney's retconning 9/11.
I guess the always remember thing. I guess that was
Dog
only.
left the deck.
What is happening?
That wasn't, I guess.
Buried
a
Secrets of
perpetual
World
thing.
War II, Bin Laden's hard drive.
Secrets?
Wait a minute.
What?
They had Bin Laden's hard drive on Hulu. How did they get Bin Laden's hard drive?
I didn't even know he had a hard drive. What was on?
How many hard drives does Bin Laden have?
Probably a lot.
Just like the airplanes he was gonna hijack.
Probably more than that.
Croc that ate Jaws.
What?
Drug Lords: The Next Generation. That's a real
What?
show. No, this is Hulu.
Were they
Is that
interviewing
like
drug
is that like
lords?
a like a Boruto: The Next Generation, but it's like with Al Capone's? kid?
I was thinking like Degrassi, like
I'll make you
like
proud,
it's like a
Dad.
heist. It's
I'll
like a
make you
sit. It's like
proud.
a
I'm gonna
drama.
deal more drugs than anyone in the neighborhood ever thought I could.
It like flashes
A
back
new
to that 9
generation
years
of
old.
cocaine traffickers
Oh,
emerges.
Dad, still so many.
It's a docuseries.
But how do you make a documentary series about that without like them all going to jail?
And sir, where are you going to be selling drugs recently? How's your drug sales been recently?
That would be like if Breaking Bad was a documentary and for some reason they didn't all go to jail right after the first season.
The dog just sat in the
She
middle of
just
you and
really
just started
wants to eat my
staring
fries.
at me.
And
She
are you
just really
making
wants my
are you
french
making
fries.
meth right now, sir? Oh.
Want my fries.
Extreme Rescues: Most Wanted Sharks. Locked Up Abroad: North Korea Inside the Mind of a Dictator. Ultimate Survival World War II, and then
Dictator.
4 Freeform series are being removed. They come up the deep end, everything's trash, and keep this between us.
Shoot.
Oh no.
This list has already been altered 3 times because a bunch of people got mad at them for some stuff being removed.
Okay, what's
They were going to remove the documentary Howard, which is about Howard Ashman, who wrote a bunch of songs for Disney
What's
Renaissance
the point
movies.
of getting rid of anything? Like,
We were
I'm
already
more-
talking about
See,
this. You were not.
He
paying
wasn't paying
attention.
attention though.
I was deeply invested.
It's
in
so
the
that they don't
conversation.
have to pay residuals to the people involved.
They did that.
Yes, they're
But for the
contractually
like the
obligated.
directors, for the actors.
Yeah,
they-
anyone who like produce, like they have to pay residuals, and also
Yeah, but they only have to pay
So-
residuals if people watch it.
Yeah, they only have to pay residuals if the show is making money. If the show makes
no, they still have to pay residuals. They're just not high.
no, but the
residuals.
residuals is based on viewership.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh,
it has
somebody
to
must
make
But the
money.
best way to make sure that you never have to pay residuals on it is to just delete it and make sure no one
Well,
can watch
somebody
it.
liked
No,
it.
but okay, if people are watching it enough that you have to pay residuals,
You still have to
that
pay
means
residuals.
you have made money on
Yeah,
it.
you still have to pay residuals regardless of the viewership. It's just more or less depending on
That's
how
dumb.
much it was.
So if no one watches it, you still pay residuals?
No, if 0 people watched it, no.
That's what I'm
But
saying.
even if like a couple thousand people watched it, they still have to pay them residuals for
But
it.
you're paying them a fraction of what the show overall is making. That's how residuals work.
Yeah.
So how on earth is it profitable to delete a show in order to avoid residuals? That logically doesn't make any sense.
How does it not make any sense to you?
Okay, let's say if
Okay, even if they only have to pay like a guy 5 cents, that's still 5 cents they save by just
but
deleting
let
it
me
altogether.
explain. So okay, let's say if 10 people watch a show, and this is a hypothetical. Just, let's say 10 people watch a show, so that show makes $10 because 10 people have watched it, right? Just I know that's ridiculous. Like the margins are not that high. Just follow along, right? Let's say residuals are 30% of that. So you give the residual. That's $30. That's $3 goes to the director. Okay.
Yeah.
You still made $7 from the views. So you have to make money.
That's not how it works
for
on
residuals
streaming.
to be paid.
They're not making any direct money. Like the money bar doesn't go up if people watch something on streaming.
No, but the time bar goes up. When you're on a streaming platform, the way you measure the value is the time
Is the
spent
minutes
watching.
watched.
Yeah, exactly. So someone still used that service and dedicated their time that they paid for when they bought the service to that show.
But the viewership was not high enough to warrant still having to pay the residuals for it.
But again, they only pay the residuals if it's getting watched,
Yes.
which means that they have to be making more money than they're paying in residuals.
They're not making you don't make money from it.
You do if it's on Hulu,
The whole point,
because you put ads on the
Hulu
show.
is running ads, but they can run ads on anything.
That's what I'm saying. So just move all these shows to Hulu and then just leave them on Hulu.
I don't know.
It doesn't make any sense to delete anything. I don't understand this. This makes no sense.
Because no one's watching it on Hulu.
But then why does Hulu exist?
The whole point is they have to. So all those people have it written in their contracts that they have to. So it's basically impossible to truly measure viewership on on any streaming platform. So all of the people who make these
Well, it's
stuff
not impossible. It's just
put
not
in their
public information.
contracts that they get paid residuals for it being on the streaming platform. But the whole point of content on a streaming platform is to draw people to subscribe to the streaming platform. If the content is not doing its job and it's bringing no one in, it's cheaper just to delete the show, never have to pay them residuals than it is for the small amount of actual viewership that that's getting.
Residuals are based on a percentage of money that the
Yes.
show brings in.
Nobody is subscribed to Disney Plus to watch The Big Fib. So it's not worth keeping The Big Fib on Disney Plus. So you have to pay Navette Cole Brown residuals for The Big Fib.
If you have to pay residuals, that means that someone is watching it.
But not enough people to warrant it being on there.
But if that's the case, then you wouldn't be paying enough residuals to make it for it to matter anyway.
Any money that they're spending, they want to stop spending.
The money that they are
no
paying-
one will unsubscribe because they remove this stuff. That is a calculated move they made.
I understand.
So this
that
is
that's
a
the-
net saving
That's
cost.
the calculus that they're making. What I'm saying is, if this show is getting enough views that they have to pay residuals at all, that means when they made the show, they did the calculus that this is a fair percentage based on the viewership. So they understood that this show equals X money, and we will pay you X percent of X money if it gets X views. That's the calculus they made. So logically, they would either just decrease the residual payments in tandem with the decrease in viewership, which makes way more sense, and then the show would still be... There's no way it can't make money
It isn't
if you're
making
paying
money.
residuals. 'Cause the residuals can never be higher than the amount of money it's bringing in because you're only paying...
You're looking at it
you're
as it's
paying
bringing in money. It's not bringing
Listen,
in anything.
You're paying them a percent of the money that the show is bringing
The
in.
show doesn't generate revenue.
No shows on streaming platforms generate revenue.
That's what
not
I'm
how
trying
they
to
work.
say.
But the money that you pay for the streaming service
Oh my, hang
is
on.
divided up by show, by views. So, like, let's say I paid $8 for Disney Plus and I only watched The Mandalorian. So then The Mandalorian made $8. But if I pay for Disney Plus, I watch 2 episodes of The Mandalorian, I watch The Little Mermaid, I watch 3 episodes of The Clone Wars, I watch a Marvel show, that money is now split that many ways. That many shows have made that many dollars.
There's no way of calculating that.
That is exactly how, yes, it's so easy. Just divide the money by the watch time. It's extremely easy. They just don't make that public. So what I'm saying is the viewership is directly correlated to the amount of money that is directly correlated to the amount of time that show is worth.
Yes.
So then, if that is the case, one, either they didn't make a residual deal that made any sense, like they just did the math wrong, or they are paying them residuals that are not based on viewership, and for some reason they were just like, I want X amount of money in residuals, which isn't how that works at all. That doesn't make any sense.
In streaming, what matters is what people subscribe for. The library is there for people who are already there to have something to do. They need the big profile shows to draw people in. If it's not drawing anyone in, it's not of any
Okay,
worth
but then,
to them.
like, why does Apple TV Plus have any shows other than Ted Lasso then?
It's because they're hoping that one of those catches and draws more people in.
Exactly. You never know what's going to
Well, they
catch
think-
more people
they
and
think
draw them
every
in.
show, Apple thinks every show they make is
But
gonna be
all
the
of
best
these
show of
shows,
all time.
all of these shows they know have not done that. So there's no point in like keeping making them or keeping them around.
But you never know when a show is going to blow up.
Well, I think that's why the shows that they're deleting, which obviously didn't have strong viewership, they gave a second season. Like
But
Big Shot was probably not getting huge viewership for season 1, but they gave it a season 2 to see what happens, and that didn't work either. So they just gutted it.
No, but like there are shows like this is a good example that just happened recently, like The Good Doctor. That's been on Netflix for what, like 4
It was
5
on,
years
I mean,
now.
it's on CBS.
I know, but it's also Hulu. It's on some streaming service. That very recently absolutely exploded in viewership
No, it didn't.
because of that stupid TikTok trend. So
it was
you
getting high
never-
viewership on CBS anyway.
But now it's way higher. You never know when or why a show's gonna blow up.
But that's true. That's been true for like years though.
and if you
That's been true since the onset
if you
of television.
constantly purge your
problem-
backlog, that's never going
The
to
problem
happen.
is that companies don't really care, and they're looking at it like, I don't want to pay for 6 seasons of a television show just in the case that season 7 really pops off. Like, that's not an investment that, like, if you do that for every show hoping that one of them catches, you're burning millions of
Has
dollars
there
for
ever
no
been
reason.
a show where the second season had more viewers?
Oh yeah, tons.
Like almost all of them that are successful.
All the
Okay,
time.
yeah, but
Yeah, that happens all the time.
Every
that-
successful show.
Well,
but
that story
not on
is-
streaming. Streaming, that very rarely happens.
one that is
Unless
not
it's
like
successful. Like
Because
like
now
very
that is
successful.
now you're saying there's a problem like with streaming that in general, which is true. in that a lot of times like Netflix will do a show.
Like, take what HBO Max did with their animated backlog. They like purged.
Yeah,
all
they
of it.
purge the whole thing. But like Netflix will do that all the time, where they make a show, they give it one season, they drop it in the middle of the week with no advertising, no one watches it, and so they immediately trash it. Doesn't matter what that show could have done. To them, it was like, well, useless, and we have another thing coming out next week anyway. Doesn't matter. We'll move on to the next thing.
The point is,
The streaming services aren't about quality; they're about quantity, and you're just gonna pump out more and more and more and more stuff.
The point is,
instead of
this is
trying to
why,
like cultivate a quality group and see if that works.
this is why piracy is important for content.
Sam, that is wrong, and we discourage.
Explain how that take is wrong.
We discourage any piracy in all of its forms. It is not a victimless crime.
How can I steal from a company that doesn't sell something? If Walmart,
It is not a victimless crime.
if
Did you not
Walmart-
watch the DVDs?
if Walmart stops selling apples, but I find some apples somewhere, did I steal them from
Piracy?
Or
Walmart?
did Apple or did
But
Walmart
what
make those
if?
apples?
What if in 6?
They used to,
But Sam,
but they stopped making apples.
what if in 6 years Walmart decides to reboot apples,
Then I'll buy those
and
apples when they put them back
to sell
on.
they want to sell a premium old apple to get you ready for the premium new reboot apple?
Then I'll start buying them again. But right now, I can't buy apples from Walmart. Do you see what I'm saying? You can't steal something from a store that
Sam,
doesn't sell it.
I'm just saying, just from a legal perspective,
That
we
is
do not
literally impossible.
we do not encourage piracy.
The thing with movies and like art is that it's intellectual property, and so it doesn't matter.
It doesn't exist. It's made up anyways. Intellectual property
That'll
conceptually
hold up in
is
court.
stupid. Anyway,
Sam is pro-communizing all
Glad
art.
we got.
I didn't say communize ideas. I'm just saying, like, logically speaking, the idea of intellectual property.
Well, but like
doesn't
the
make any
physical
sense.
product exists. Like the
physical
idea
products,
doesn't
yes,
exist.
Those you can literally steal.
Yeah.
But like, if I make a fan fiction where like Kylo Ren and like Rey like bang, like that's not. Technically, I'm violating
Now we're
intellectual property laws,
demonetized.
but no one could actually
Well,
stop.
can't they own the character outright?
Yeah, they can, but again, they can't. That's not enforceable. 'Cause
Yeah.
you can just.
Well, yeah, well, it
it's
is.
intellectual If I think it, no one can enforce it. No one can be like, "Hey, you're stealing my intellectual property by thinking about my character."
Well, it's not
wrong."
about- it's-
like as much as I'm sure Disney would like to keep.
Well,
us
that's
from
why the
thinking
law
about
isn't that
they
like
can't.
you're not allowed to think about Spider-Man. It's like you're not allowed to produce bootleg Spider-Man merch. It's really about like the licensing. Like it's the
not allowed
ownership
to
of
make
the
money on
license.
that.
It's not the ownership of like the idea.
You're not allowed to make money on it. So if you
Yeah.
if you were to say, take all of these shows, put them on a server,
Yeah.
make the Yoho Fiddle DD streaming service where you only stream
still on
shows
the
that have
first
been
item.
removed by other streaming services, that would be illegal because now you're selling pirated
All right,
content.
Sam. There's some big summer movies coming out soon. A couple have been getting early screenings. Some of them premiered at Cannes.
And as
It's a film festival. So The Flash, that's had some early screenings, fan screenings, mostly
reviews?
positive reviews. No, review
James
bar-
Gunn said it was awesome.
James Gunn said it was his favorite movie of the year.
There's no way that it's good. There's just no way.
You refuse to believe it's good in any way, shape, or form.
It's just how could it be good? Like how could it be good? I don't how could that possibly be good?
Why is that, Sam?
Because it's such a mess of ideas. Like it's just so many random unconnected things.
What if it's not what we think it is, though? What if it is just mostly like a one clean narrative? Which is what people are saying it is.
How could that be possible? How could you have Batman
I
from
think-
the 80s,
I think-
a new version
Hey.
of Supergirl, two versions of the Flash,
Did
one
you
of them
ever
turns
see-
into the Reverse Flash?
Did you ever see Far From Home?
That's true. I mean, you mean No Way Home?
No Way Home.
Yeah,
That's the one. The movie.
but that was one character. And they had already
Well, this is one.
they had already introduced the concept of the multiverse within the
But
context
this
of their
is
universe.
one character in a story with many characters.
You don't need to introduce the multiverse
if it was-
again. Everyone knows what the multiverse is now.
If it was 3 versions of the Flash,
Everyone gets the idea of the multiverse. We're not at the point where you have to explain that to modern audiences.
like if it was the Flash from the 80s show, the Flash from the modern show, and the Flash from the movies, and they were in a movie together, that sounds like a great idea. And I feel like that's a lot easier to get everyone on board with. Because it's the Flash movie, only the Flash is in it.
I mean, it's
The different
mostly,
versions,
but
that's
it's
fine.
like,
But this is the Flash movie featuring a 70-year-old version of Batman and a version
Who
of
is from a pre-existing thing.
who is from a pre-existing thing that hasn't had any development in like 40 years. A version of Supergirl no one has ever seen and will not be continued because this is the last chapter in this
It's a one-off.
pseudo Snyder
I
continuation.
mean, but like you
verse.
can't say it's too muddled because they're introducing a new character.
No, but it's not that they're it's that they're bringing back one from 40 years ago,
Yeah.
introducing a new one, continuing a current one, adding a new version of him who turns evil, and expecting it not to be a mess.
I don't see how that isn't like 100% gonna be a mess. Like you can work that into it.
It's not 100% gonna be a mess, but it's like 80%.
Like
gonna be a
Flashpoint,
mess.
like the actual story Flashpoint isn't a mess, and that has a million of those elements.
But it wasn't. We're taking a version of Batman from a 40-year-old version of the comics and putting it in. We're not taking a new character that we.
Welcome. In the comics, they can introduce a completely new version of Batman, and that works. But in the movies, they can't bring back an already pre-existing one and that not work.
Because when you make a new world, you're making it for the story that you're telling right now.
Yeah.
It is created specifically with elements that are designed to be used for the narrative that you're telling in the moment.
Yeah.
When you do what you're talking about, you're taking elements from stories from 40 years ago, trying to make them work in a story you're telling right now, while also introducing new elements for the story you're trying to tell right now. So you're taking two completely different creative
that's what
visions
No Way Home
and
did.
expecting them to work. No Way Home did it, but it was with one character. It was three different versions of one character, and they were using.
But it was doing the same thing
different
narratively.
versions of those characters to create contrast between them. They weren't taking Batman, who is unrelated and doesn't even the Flash doesn't even exist in his universe, taking a new version of the Flash who's different from a TV show version of the Flash they have going on right now.
But he's
that
not.
most people
he's
still
not
don't know
new.
the difference.
He's not
between.
new. He's been in older movies.
Who's not new?
The main Flash in the movie,
He's
The Flash.
been in one other movie.
He's been
and
in-
that movie was awful.
Technically,
That was a good movie.
he was in Justice League. He
That's
was
it.
in Zack Snyder's Justice
That's
League.
the same
That's
movie.
two movies.
Pretty-
they're
it's a
they're
different-
different
those are the
movies.
same-
Different movie.
It's a different cut of the same
One of
movie.
them is good. One of them is bad.
Public perception wise, he's been in one movie.
He had a cameo in Suicide Squad.
That doesn't mean anything.
He had
That's
a cameo. in
Batman had a
Peacemaker.
cameo in
So
Suicide
now he's
Squad.
He had a
Three
cameo in Suicide Squad.
He
and
had
in
no
Peacemaker.
lines. That doesn't count.
What do you mean?
He's you can't say a
He did have a
character's
line.
in a movie if he doesn't affect
He
the
had a
movie
line.
at all. He was just
No.
like showed up.
No, but
once.
like
Sam, if you got to be in a movie, but you had no lines and you were in there for like a minute, you would still go telling people you were
Patrick,
in a movie.
it's not
My
like
point- my
it's not
point-
like it's a completely new spin on Barry Allen though. Like it's people are generally familiar with who that is, and it's not like they radically changed any of his backstory or his like current
no,
environment.
that's not my point at all.
I'm saying you don't really need to like do a whole origin story to introduce that character again.
That's not what I'm saying.
People know who that
the
is.
issue is not that
But you said they were introducing him. They're not introducing him. He's a
I'm
pre-established
saying they're
character.
continuing a narrative they are telling right now.
Yeah.
The story that they have been telling for the last, couple years
Yeah.
in the DC universe, and now dragging back elements from stories that they had finished 40 years ago, trying to force them to be continued in this movie that up until this point was not related to that in any way.
But that's any multiverse or time travel story.
And most of those stories are awful.
What about Back to the Future?
That's only with characters from Back to the Future.
But this is more...
That would be like if in Back to the Future, like Terminator shows up, and then
Terminator, another one that's...
and then because that's time travel related. Time
Yeah.
travel exists in his universe. So Doc Brown and Marty McFly have to kill Terminator now. Like, yeah, you could do that, but that would be stupid.
But like Batman is a character in the DC universe, so it's not like he's like completely unrelated to everything else.
But not this Batman. This is a Batman from 40
because we're
years
going
ago.
to the
that we've
Batman
never-
from 40 years
that
ago.
we
Tom.
have that isn't.
I bet
related
it's
to the
gonna be a
story at all.
quirky, fun story.
I don't understand like how this is like hard for you to comprehend.
What do you think is?
You're
hard for
saying
me to
it's like
comprehend?
muddled and complicated.
No,
It's
I'm
really
saying
not.
I am skeptical that they are going to be able to get all of these elements to work together in a way that is. Like,
I think if
coherent.
they can like focus
I'm
on
skeptical
Barry
that it
as
is
a character and the other stuff is just peripheral, it's fine. I think if they do just like we just delve into what Keaton Batman's been up to for like 25 minutes, then yeah, I don't think that'll work and that'll be all over the place. But if we just like stay with Barry and follow him and everything else just kind of weaves in and out, I don't think it would be that complicated or not work in that way.
And if that's the case, then the marketing is really bad.
How?
because the villain is from a Superman movie the Flash isn't in.
It's true.
That version of Superman isn't even in this movie. And half of the trailer's screen time is usually focusing on Batman, who you're hoping is not the main
That
focus.
is not. That's he probably isn't. They're really doing that because they want you to forget Ezra
And
Miller's
that's what
in
I'm
the
saying.
movie.
Either the marketing is really bad.
No,
or
I don't
the
think
movie's gonna
I don't
be a
think the
mess.
marketing
Well, the
is bad.
movie's
I
really
think the
good.
marketing is trying to get you to forget about the star's crime.
Which
trying
then
to
is a
get you-
poor representation of what the movie is.
It's trying to
which
get you
means
to
it's
see the
bad
movie.
marketing. If the marketing is a poor representation of what the product is, then that's not a good commercial.
Yeah, if you're looking at that as false advertising, yeah, I guess you could say
And that's
that.
what I'm saying. Either it's false
But you get why
advertising
they're
or it's a
doing
mess.
it, though.
No, I know that, but just because I know the reason why doesn't change the fact that it's stupid.
Would it be
It doesn't change
stupid
the fact that it's
would
bad
it be
marketing.
stupid to not focus on the Batman stuff?
Yeah. If you want it to be like the same as the ads, if you want to like deliver on what you're promising, yes, then that would be stupid. But if you do focus on the Batman stuff, that makes it a bad Flash movie.
Yeah.
I think my problem really is that this movie is mistitled.
You think it should be called Batman Adventures in Time or whatever?
It should be, well, they did that with like Batman versus Superman. It was called Dawn of Justice.
That's one of the
Batman v
dumbest
Superman.
subtitles ever, by the way.
No,
I was thinking about
the
that earlier
subtitle
today.
was Batman versus Superman.
No, Dawn of Justice was the subtitle.
No,
It was the other way
it
around.
was called
No,
Dawn
it
of
wasn't.
Justice.
You know it
When the
wasn't.
movie was announced,
No.
it was Batman versus Superman.
Guys, come on.
When the movie released,
You know you're
they
wrong.
switched
Why are
it
you
around.
arguing
We're not
this?
wrong.
You know you're wrong. Why are you saying things? It's not called Dawn of Justice : Batman versus Superman.
It used to be.
It was never called
It definitely
that.
was.
It never
I
was.
remember it
I can
vividly.
tell you now, it was never called that. I don't know where this came from in your brain, but it was never called Dawn of Justice : Batman versus Superman. What is wrong with you? You know you're wrong. You just remember things wrong and then insist you're right.
No, I think they did change the name.
They
at one
never
point
changed
during
it.
the movies.
They did
like-
change it. It was called Batman versus Superman, and then later on they added the Dawn of Justice subtitle. It was
Okay.
never the other way around.
Okay, I thought it was the other way around. Anyway,
By the way, Indiana Jones premiered at Cannes. I'm going to call it Cannes. Cena's opened the door for the 8th time in this episode. Indiana Jones got bad reviews. Nobody likes it.
that doesn't
Not a
really
shocker.
surprise me a lot, but that's kind of unfortunate.
Asteroid City, people like that one. Little Mermaid.
Probably because it's Wes Anderson and anything
Everyone's
with his name
lukewarm on
it. They just all pretend is really
By
good,
the
even
way,
if it's
we're
not.
3 weeks into the summer movie season, so I thought I'd give you an update.
Oh, good. We're pulling
On
out
where
this.
everyone's
Tucker
at.
spent $20 on this whiteboard for this bit, by the way.
Is this the right side?
Tucker,
It's
you're
upside
gonna
down.
you're gonna regret this purchase.
Tucker has no
Patrick, did you even make a list?
Nope, I told him to, and he never did.
So then, why are there 3 lists then?
What's this?
Who's,
Okay.
Oh, actuals.
What
oh, hey,
idiot?
you're breaking the TV.
It's fine. I see.
What
No,
idiot?
you just did a huge scratch on the whole.
I did not.
Yeah, you did.
No
And
way.
you're doing it still. Actually,
It's not even touching it.
you did like twice. Just be
It's
careful
fine.
with it.
It's
Okay,
not on.
what idiot put number
Okay.
1 as?
So the blue is me,
Oh my
the
god.
green is Sam, and that is like the current.
Tucker,
where
you
they
have
are,
bad
actually.
opinions.
Okay. I just want to say, so right now,
You put Spider-Verse
Sam
6?
is winning currently because he has Guardians 1 off and Fast 1 off. He has these 2 flip-flop from where they actually are. Right now, I'm not doing great.
Put Spider-Verse in.
Although I have them in the right order.
Yeah, because it's animated. Animated movies just generally don't.
This is for amount of money, not quality. I'm not ranking movies that have not come out yet.
Okay,
based on
Barbie is one of, if not the most popular toy brand other than Lego that
You think the
exists.
Flash is gonna
And
do?
it's a live action movie.
You think the Flash is gonna do? I guess that's
It's
what it
projected
is.
currently to open bigger than Guardians did.
Mine,
There's
Barbie's
no
3
way.
on my list.
There is a way.
I would replace Barbie.
You know why? Because one has Batman in it.
I would replace Barbie with the Flash.
Where for Sam?
Yeah, and then I would
You would
basically
flip flop
keep it-
these. Yeah, Sam has the Flash like really low,
That's because I had really low expectations. I thought it was gonna be really bad.
but like you didn't account for like the money printer that is just the
You put
character
Dead
of Batman.
Reckoning
Yeah,
or
I put 5.
Elemental.
Yes. Wow, that's not. I don't think anyone would see that as
Yeah, I
controversial.
put Elemental as
But you
10.
put it over
Honestly,
Barbie?
Sam, this could. I was wrong here. This is probably way too high. Sam's probably closer. Right now, it's projected to open to like 30 million, which is not good.
Yeah,
at all.
that's right.
Put Oppenheimer.
It probably won't even make the list at all. What?
Put Oppenheimer.
Because I thought it would just kind of get drowned out, and it doesn't have a brand name attached to it.
Yeah, it does. Christopher Nolan.
But it doesn't have
There's
like.
a million actors in it.
Exactly. It'll make money. Again, this is like
Isn't
me
that the whole
guessing.
point of the list?
This is me guessing.
I think
I'm
Mission-
saying
It's the whole point of
I
the
was
list.
saying Barbie, Little Mermaid, Spider-Man,
I would put-
Batman, Indiana Jones is probably a bigger brand name, more money
Also,
than
what the
Christopher
heck is
Nolan.
Okay.
75?
I would switch these two
Indiana
and then
Jones,
move that up
Max.
to 5.
The fifth Indiana.
I'd swap these two and
Right,
move that
Indiana
up to 5 and move everything
So
else down.
Patrick thinks Spider-Verse over Oppenheimer.
That's definitely not.
And then what was your other part?
But the
That-
only big
Like,
one.
even if it's animated,
and
it's
shift
still,
everything
like-
down.
So you think
Even when it came out, it didn't do very
So you
well.
think
It only
every-
blew up on Netflix.
you think Mission Impossible
It's gonna be 5th.
No, everyone-
goes to 5 and everything else just moves
Yeah.
down 1? You think so? You're high on Mission
Yeah,
Impossible.
but in America,
Yeah, 'cause
like
it's Tom
animation is still
Cruise.
very much seen.
See,
as, like,
that's why
kids
I put it
only,
at
whereas live
5.
Action is like
That's why I
anything.
put it over Little Mermaid
Yeah.
and everything else.
If you think Fast X is gonna be that high, Mission Impossible.
Fast
will
X, Sam
definitely
put
be up
Fast X. Number 1 for Fast X was really dumb.
Well, because I thought you were talking about the global market.
No, we-
and
we were doing
you
domestic.
Told me when I got here that it was domestic.
Yeah.
So I put Fast X number 1 because I was like, yeah, it's gonna make $1 billion in China.
But it's hard to do global because then like you have to factor in like a bunch of Chinese movies no one's ever heard of,
Ah.
and like we don't know what those are.
You could do U.S. movies,
But,
but
right now,
domestic and foreign.
me and you both have 2 movies on the actual list on our list. Book Club 2. Will it stick around the whole summer?
well, all these are gonna fall off.
No, all those
There's
are gonna
not
fall.
even 10
There's not even
movies
10
that have
movies
come out
right
yet.
The only ones, everything else but Fast X and Guardians 3 will
Wait,
stick
that's how
around.
it is
Will
actually
leave
right
with us.
now?
This is the that
Yeah.
since the summer started.
As
but
of the third
only
week of
9
May.
movies have come out since the summer started.
But we're recording this on May 24th,
So
which is before
how
Little
much
Mermaid
did
comes out.
Rally Road Racers make?
A couple $100,000.
No, I haven't heard of Rally Road Racers.
It's an
No.
independently produced animated film.
I've heard of.
How much is Love
3
Again
Disney
made?
movies.
Not a whole lot.
Book Club is gonna be here.
I saw a bunch of people decrying like the death of cinema because Book Club 2 underperformed.
Book Club 2 is
And they were like, "Oh no, women will never go to the movies again." And I was like, "It's probably because it's like a sequel to a movie that came out 5 years ago and no one remembers, like a month
Book
after it
Club
came
1
out."
was amazing.
Nobody even knew there was a Book Club 1. You think Book Club 2 is gonna do higher than Book Club 1?
I get Book Club and Fight Club.
Also,
mixed
like,
up.
there's been
How could you possibly get Book Club and Fight Club mixed
because
up?
they both have
But anyway,
club in the name.
every couple of weeks we'll break this out, and
name is
I'll
Jenny
we'll give everyone an update.
You're gonna be
Hang on,
regretting
I'm gonna
life
look up
with all the writing
Rally
you're
Road
gonna have to do.
Racers.
Patrick,
By
so
the way, you have pretty
wait,
decent
you were
handwriting.
talking. You would have also put Fast X at number 1?
No,
What would you put of number 1?
Guardians.
You would okay. So we would have had. So we have 3 different movies. That's
Or wait, for the entire summer.
for the whole. Yeah, May through
I don't
August.
know if it's gonna hold. I
Let's
think
look at the trailer for Rally Road.
We
Racers.
don't have to do that.
Now we're doing it. Watch, move the whiteboard.
This is
I think the Flash might do best.
Yeah,
So,
this,
either that or
this
Mission
looks
Impossible.
this looks really bad. This looks like something that would be like a Cartoon Network original.
yeah.
Like the colors are.
Sam,
really
if you had to,
off.
if you had to like now knowing it was domestic, pick a number 1. Where would you put?
Probably Barbie. Honestly, either Barbie or Guardians 3.
Barbie.
At number 1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna still stick with the Flash at number 9.
Well, I don't know that the Flash would be number 9, but I'm saying like I'm not. Do you want me to redo the whole list?
No, I'm just saying like
The Barbie will make more than
Barbie's
the Flash. Like
more.
easily, Barbie will
it
make
will
more than
not.
Flash.
There's no way that's gonna happen.
I think
I
you're
don't-
underestimating.
I
The
think
Barbie
you're
brand.
overestimating the Barbie brand.
I think the Barbie movie is not gonna do that well. It will do as well as.
I think it'll be big opening weekend, and then like once people see it and they see what it actually
I think
is,
it's gonna
it'll
do as
fizzle
well
out.
as like the Mario movie.
Because right now, people, I think like the general audience thinks it's what they're selling it as, which is like the live action Barbie movie, and oh, isn't that weird that they're doing this? But in actuality, it's gonna be like
That's Rally Road
hyper
Racers.
political, and I think once that happens, a bunch of people will immediately be turned off by it. So I don't think it'll hold. I think it'll open pretty big, and then it won't hold very well. It's true.
I think all the adults will go to see it, and they'll bring their daughters, which is a lot of people, and then they will all see it multiple times.
Do you
'cause
think being
even-
PG-13 is gonna hurt it?
Yes.
No. If
You don't think that'll hurt it?
No.
Okay.
All the highest grossing movies of the last decade are PG-13.
I know.
PG-13 is just
You get one
extra
swear.
PG. Yeah, that means nothing.
It's like they
pick a
say,
thing,
like,
dog.
bad word.
No,
Oh my god.
because all the little girls are. Like if it's too political for you, like the little kids aren't gonna care. Like the little kids are gonna
won't
be
notice.
like, "Ooh, Barbie car! Ooh, Barbie's running
what
around
if
and
Barbie
saying
car
Barbie
isn't
words."
in
Barbie
it as
looks
much as
just
you
like
think?
Margot Robbie.
But it will be because they still understand that this is very much a advertisement for Barbie toys. Like they're not stupid.
That's not what this is.
Like in the sense that the Lego movie was a good movie and very political, it was also still very much an ad for Legos.
Okay. The Flash series finale is tonight, Sam.
We're gonna be watching it
After
together after the show.
10 long years
Yeah.
of the Flash, and even longer for the Arrowverse in general. CW is bowing out of the superhero game. Justice U is not moving forward. Superman and Lois and Gotham Knights, which weren't even in the Arrowverse, could potentially both be canceled.
Well, Superman is technically in the Arrowverse, right?
Because
That version of Superman shows up
the
in
same
Supergirl.
actor, but
Yeah,
then they
so that's the
retconned
same.
it. It's not the
What
same.
do you mean they retconned it?
The
What did they
guy,
do?
the producer, came out and was like, "It's not an Arrowverse; it's its own thing."
Okay, but it like is
Because they
Like, he
recast.
said that, but
because
it
they
is.
recast like a bunch, like they changed up the lore on like a bunch of other stuff. Like Lex Luthor is played by a different guy in Superman and Lois, and there's like completely different lore. Like in Supergirl, he's just like out and about.
See,
In
this
Superman
is
and Lois, he had been in prison for like the past 15 years and stuff like that.
DC edit continuity.
Powerpuff is also officially dead.
No!
Is this really the final chapter in our 3-year-long saga of tracking this show's production?
When will we ever see the leaked pilot? Hopefully
Man,
one
this
day.
is really the end of an era.
Wow.
What are we
That
gonna
was
do?
like one of
What are
the
we gonna
first-
dog on without
That
the
was like one of
CW?
the first stories we ever covered.
What are we gonna do without the CW?
That's crazy.
The CW is just a content farm.
It was so good for content. They made the
Most baffling
steamiest
decisions.
turds. Just the steamiest piles of doo-doo that anyone else... No one would have funded the things that they fund.
I'm gonna miss the Arrowverse. It was
I'm
like a
gonna
constant.
I'm gonna miss the first 3 seasons of every show in the Arrowverse with the exclusion of Supergirl.
But have you gone back and
Oh.
rewatched them?
The first season of The Flash like still holds up. It's like
pretty
actually good. Same
The
with
funniest
Arrow.
part about the
like
first
Arrow
season-
also
I
still
think
holds
the
up
funniest
very
part about
well.
the first
I think
season-
Arrow holds up better than the Flash.
It definitely
Yeah,
does, but that's
probably.
because Arrow in general was a better show than The Flash.
at the start.
Yeah.
Then they both got pretty
For the
terrible.
first 3 seasons.
The first
The problem, so Arrow had like dips and highs. Like Arrow didn't start good and then just dive straight downhill. Like it started good, went down, kind of went back
had the
up,
Prometheus
went back
season.
down,
That
and
was
went
a
back
really good
up.
one.
Right?
Yeah.
Flash was like up. And then immediately was straight
And then it
down,
just
and it
never
never
went
went
back
back up. Season 9 might be the worst season they've ever made.
That's so bad. That's
It's
so
the
sad.
final season, and there's been like 3 good episodes, and that's it. Like of the whole.
And you're still watching it.
I never stopped.
I'm
man.
glad we have you.
I'm keeping up.
When I saw the lightsaber duel, I was like,
Yeah, no,
what's
that
going on
I
in this
was
show?
I was baffled when they did that. I was like, I
my
can't
gosh,
believe it.
the
I'm watching.
CW TikTok account reposted that fight scene on May the 4th. Like as a May the 4th like celebration
Well, they're
thing.
using lightsabers.
But like they straight up admit that they're knocking off lightsabers.
Well, obviously they had light sticks and
the
were.
Flash doesn't
I
have
know.
a lightsaber.
No, in like season 5, they just decided that like Barry is Green Lantern.
This is Star Wars
No,
now.
in season 5, they just decided that all the Flash characters are Green Lanterns
Yeah, no,
and
I
can just
remember
make
that.
stuff out
But
of
like
lightning.
Barry was like really bad at it, so like I didn't really
no,
pay it much attention.
in like the first season, like
it was only the Kid Flash who could make the stuff out of lightning.
no, in like the first season, if he wanted to throw lightning at somebody, he had to like run in a circle.
No, yeah, it took,
build
like,
up electricity and then like throw it. Now he can just like stick his hands out and shoot
like do
lightning at people.
Palpatine.
Yeah,
Like, no, okay.
Well, you got better.
So
yeah, he got
The
he got
Flash-
super powerful, dude.
the Flash, and you're gonna have to stick with me here, but the Flash has the same problem with its like world building as like Naruto did, where at the beginning of the show, it took each character like forever to pull off like a super move. Like if a character wanted to do something really powerful, he had to like focus and like harness his power or whatever. And same with the Flash. Like if he wanted to do like a super move, like vibrate through a building or something, like it took him like there was a lot of build up to that moment. Whereas like in the end, he's like straight up blasting lasers out of his hands and he's like flying around with a lightsaber. Like, and then Naruto did the same thing. Like towards the end of the show, like every character is like a god and they're like blasting planets apart. Like they had the same issue where they didn't know how to scale the power system. of the
It's
world.
gonna be sad to see it go, man.
It
Remember
would
when
have
it
been
first
sad if it
came-
was good.
Remember when it first came out?
Yeah, it was good
All the
when
way
it
back
first
in the
came out.
day.
back when
that was awesome.
The Force Awakens
We
was
started
a
watching.
We started watching it when it came
around
out.
like a couple episodes in, we
No,
picked
like
up on it.
we
Not from the very start.
we watched the first 2 episodes when they came out.
We weren't watching Arrow. I went
No,
back and
we
watched
never
Arrow
really
later.
did watch Arrow.
I have seen all of Arrow, which I thought we could rank the shows.
Arrow, you had to be more
There's
careful
6
around
canon-
your parents watching.
There's 6 canon Arrowverse shows. Okay, we have
There are?
Arrow.
Wait,
Flash?
what are all of these?
Yes, Supergirl,
Legends?
Legends, Black Lightning, and Batwoman.
I forgot about Black Lightning.
And
Where would
Batwoman.
you- where would
and
you-
Legends?
How would you order?
No, I remember I watched.
How would you
like,
order them based on quality? So I've seen all of Arrow. I've seen all of the Flash. I've seen the first 4 or 5 seasons
Oh,
of
Rick
Legends.
Hunter left,
I think
watched
I've seen
the half.
the first 4. I've seen 1 episode of Supergirl, not counting the crossovers.
I've seen the first.
You've
3
seen the
seasons
whole.
of
I saw the
You've
whole
seen
first
3 seasons. You watched the whole
I
first
watched
one
3 seasons.
back
of
when it was on CBS. It
Yeah,
wasn't
I
even
watched
on
it when
CW.
before it was even on CW.
Yeah,
guys. I was
You've
dedicated.
seen 3
I've
seasons
seen
of
3
Su-
seasons of.
I've seen 1 episode of Black Lightning, and I've seen none of Batwoman.
I've seen none of Black
I
Lightning.
saw the pilot for
none of
Batwoman.
Batwoman. I saw the first season of Supergirl. I've seen none of Green Arrow. I've seen.
I thought you watched some of Arrow.
I saw a couple episodes like whenever Papa was
I
watching.
watched like almost all.
But I
of
never,
it.
I never like. I
You
had
watched
no
them.
idea what was
Did you
going on
watch
in
the
that show.
final? Where did you stop?
I might have watched all of it. I don't remember. When did it?
And then I watched most of
Season
Legends.
8 was the last one.
I
might
checked
have
out
watched
of
all of it.
Legends when
Okay.
Rip
8
Hunter
was pretty
died, 'cause
good.
He was the only good character on that show.
Yeah. Again, Arrow had like 4 goods. Arrow, half of the seasons of Arrow are good, which is pretty good for CW.
Yeah, no,
Like
that's
4 of
their
8.
best rate.
4 of 8 was good seasons. Flash had 2 of 9.
No, the third season, I will argue,
honestly,
is still good.
I would honestly put overall as a show, I think Arrow is better than the Flash.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
obviously, that's not
The
like
question
a debate.
is, okay, we can't really rank Black Lightning or Batwoman because we didn't watch any.
None of us have seen it.
So I'd say Arrow 1, Flash 2.
No, me and another day we needed to catch.
Arrow 1, Flash 2. Legends 3? Would you say Legends is better than Supergirl?
The first 3 seasons
Yeah.
of Legends were good.
Yes, there's
Well,
Supergirl
until it wasn't.
Apparently, season 5 of Supergirl is when it got good.
That's really sad.
But like,
I
no
mean,
one
I
got
never
that.
thought it
book.
was. I never thought it was like.
No, you never thought it was bad.
It was bad.
You just thought it was a.
I thought
It was really,
okay.
really
I never
bad.
thought it was like the worst one.
No, but it was so boring that nothing happened ever.
I don't. Did the
nothing
first season
happened
ever?
ever?
Did the first season have a main villain? I don't think. It
No.
did. Yeah.
There was just like they just kept saying the white Martians were going to invade, and
That
they
was what they
never
were doing?
do.
Well, that's expensive.
They do in like the 3rd season, and
And
like
they look
they're
terrible.
off screen. They're not even like they don't even fight them.
So okay, here's what. So Arrow, Flash, Legends, Supergirl, Black Lightning, Batwoman. That's our definitive.
yeah, I
list.
think that's
What would you say is
pretty
the best
fair.
villain in the Arrowverse they ever did?
The Reverse Flash. It's got to be the best villain.
In the
Like I'm not
Oh,
saying the
no.
best handled, but by far he's like the scariest villain.
Until later on when he becomes a Power
Until he
Ranger
becomes
villain.
like a
Did you see
like a golfer.
I'm
but,
guessing
like,
you saw like the clip
pre-golfer
on like
version.
TikTok or Twitter or something of in the last season where he gets like a black like Power Ranger suit and he's like
Oh no,
Okay,
I didn't
I
see that.
honestly
Did you
think,
see that?
I honestly think Prometheus is the best Arrow.
he was pretty good.
But he was like not related to Green Arrow. He was just like a
Yeah, he
random
was.
dude.
You didn't watch
I
it.
didn't get that far. I saw like 2 episodes.
Season
where-
5
where
of Arrow
Prometheus
was, really
was
I
in.
was- That was not.
But also the fight,
and then season 6
the
and
fight
7
choreography in Arrow at that point was just so.
It was
sad.
pretty good in season 5. It
Season
there were
5
some
was
good ones.
Season-
one of the
I didn't-
highlights.
Season 5 it went back
The
up.
only like
Season
the
5
only
of Arrow is
episode I
really good.
remember is the one where he's fighting Deathstroke, and they're literally standing stationary, facing each other. The camera is spinning around them, and
And
they're
they're
like
just
they're going like this.
Yeah.
Like while they're just standing still, like doing judo, like you know when we do ultimate kung fu and we just stand there and go like this.
Yeah.
They were actually doing that, like as a
No,
real choreographed fight scene.
it was really bad in season 4 because the villain was like a magic. It was Damien Dark or whatever.
I
So I
hated
think
him.
I have seen
Yeah.
that season.
and
I
that's-
remember
every
definitely-
fight was just them like hitting
That's
each other.
when
in
they
the
started
face.
That's when
Legends, right? That after.
Yeah, that was when Legends started.
Yeah, around that time. I wanna say.
Because that's where Arrow got like magic wizard powers.
Legends got like
and he could like channel the light energy.
Legends got to the
couldn't
point
do
where it was
that.
so not even like a comic book show anymore.
Well, because none of the characters were
None
from
of the
comics.
comics, and
They were all the characters
and they
who
were always
died in
just
other
doing.
shows.
They were always just doing goofy nonsense.
They were like
and I got tired of the
they were like
goofy
the
nonsense.
Rick and Morty of like this universe.
Yeah, but it
Like,
wasn't in any way smart.
they would just go to a random
Or
place,
funny.
do a random thing. It wouldn't affect
No.
anything, and they would leave.
It always
wasn't-
annoyed me because they would bring in characters with superpowers, give them suits, and then they would never
They would
use
never
them.
use their powers.
They would use them during the crossover once a year, and that was it. By the way,
because they shouldn't have a big enough budget for the team that they had assembled.
I wish they stopped doing crossover.
the Nazi one was the best one,
Yeah, I agree with that.
and then it was
The alien one sucked.
the Alien one was not
'Cause-
great.
The musical?
Do you remember?
That doesn't count.
We don't talk
We
about
don't count.
that.
That one was by
that
far
show
the
If
does
worst.
not
you're
exist.
counting that as one of the crossovers, then yes, that's the
It was
worst.
No,
fun.
but the one with the aliens,
That was the lowest rated episode I think up to that
They're-
point when they did it.
we're told that there's an alien invasion going on. Over
Yeah.
the course of the whole crossover, there's one ship. You know when they fight the aliens, you know what happens?
Dominators.
They punch a single alien throughout the whole special.
They're
That's
like
all
three
the
episode
fighting that
specials,
happens.
right?
The rest is just them shooting lasers.
Yeah,
at,
they
like,
were
ghosts.
pretty much always 3 episodes long. I think Crisis was 5.
Crisis was 5, but it was like a way bigger deal.
Crisis. I'm talking about Crisis on Infinite Earth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Did you guys watch that one?
Yeah, I saw. I don't know if I saw every episode of it because some of them were like episodes of other.
That
shows I
one
didn't care
got
about.
real dumb.
But I saw the Arrow episode.
It was pretty
I
good.
saw the Flash episode. And I saw the Legends
when it
episode.
started off pretty strong, where like they kill all of it right away, and you're like, "Ooh, what are we doing? That's kind of cool." And
Whoa.
then they did the break, and they picked it up. Like they took a break in December, and they came back and finished it in like
Yeah.
February. And it like, and then the big finale,
was so
just like
lame.
9 random characters just like shooting
at Dementors,
shooting
from
at
Harry
ghosts.
Potter. Yeah,
in like the middle of a desert, and it was just super dumb. So goodbye, CW. You
don't
will
have
be
a Mac
missed.
charger.
you will have you would have.
USB-C?
I have several USB-C chargers. Well, then none of them are long enough to get all the way over there.
All right.
I'll move.
Max
Want
is
one
gonna
of
come
these.
back. Get one of those. They're nice.
Remember our Tech Time segment?
I'll bring it
We
back.
can bring it back when. Oh, did you see they announced the date for WWDC?
No, but I'll watch it when.
I feel like there's 8 of those a year.
There's
There's
one
one.
a year.
I know, but I feel like
There's several Apple events, but
They
there's
do
one
like
WWDC.
3 max.
There's one at the beginning of the year, one in the fall when they announce the new iPhone, and then one in
Now what they
the
do?
summer when they do WWDC.
Now what they do is they just update their website and put out a press release.
and they say nothing because the less you know as a consumer, the more likely you are to spend more money.
You're gonna be in an Apple store.
I mean,
in
Apple
Vegas.
doesn't really have to do anything at this point. They've built it to a point where people
Well, they
just
only
buy the
sell 4 products.
the new thing
5
every year,
products.
regardless of what's different about
Apple
it.
builds 5 things. And
Yeah.
that's it. They make iPads, Macs, they make iPhones. They make
They've
AirPods, they
trained-
make
they've
watches.
trained-
That's it.
displays.
They've trained.
They don't really make displays. They're really bad at making
They two.
displays.
They've trained
Yeah,
the
and one of them
consumers
has
to
a
like
non-detachable
associate higher
power
number with
cable.
better quality.
The studio. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. What were we talking about?
Sam,
Arrowverse is
Disney
sad to
parks.
see it go. Yeah, it
Disney
sucks,
parks.
but not really.
So what's some big news?
Oh, is this?
So despite launching last spring, the Star Wars Hotel, the Galactic Star Cruiser, is shutting its doors.
Don't tell me it's gone.
It's going away. Its last voyage will be on September 30th.
No.
all the months of no one saying there.
Of course, it was much criticized upon announcement,
Because it sucked and it was awful.
mostly because they lock you in a hotel room for 2 nights.
Not a hotel room. Have you seen what the rooms
No, they're real
look like?
small.
They're closets.
It costs anywhere from $5,000 to $6,000 to stay there. It's pretty much a whole role-playing event. So it was catering to the audience of super rich Star Wars role players with a lot of free time.
Or also children and adults. Look at this room. Look at that.
That's not a real window, by the way.
Yeah, well, I haven't. This
It's just a sticker.
This is not a real window. It's not a sticker. It is actually a screen. So it does like move throughout the course of your stay, so it looks like you're flying. But as far as I understand, they're not like super high quality because there's 100 of them.
No.
So they look stupid.
And you're not allowed to, like, it's not a hotel. Like, you can't,
And then this is what the actual inside of the room looks like. There's like
you don't check into the hotel and then,
baby.
go out, eat at a restaurant, come back, sleep at night, go out back into the park and do other stuff. Like,
No, you're
you
stuck on
check
here
in,
for
you're
the
not
whole
allowed
time.
to leave for 2 days.
And there's not a lot of activities to do either.
No, you can
There's
go.
the lightsaber training.
You can go to the Star Wars bar
and there's a bar.
with your kids and get them drunk.
No, the kids actually can't go
No,
to the
I'm
bar.
sure.
Yeah. No, like they're not allowed in that space.
I know.
Which is hilarious to me because what else? What are you supposed to do with this?
So that wasn't the only big time cancellation though.
You think
Bob
they can-
Iger also announced that the construction of a new campus known in Lake Nona in Florida is also being scrapped.
Here's this picture of this poor sorry sap who's stuck in the Star Wars
Yeah.
hotel, just in his little pod.
That looks like it's built for a 4-year-old.
It is.
Well, it is. It's a kid bed.
But okay, from a fan perspective, that's what the beds in Star Wars look like. Like in the Rebels show, they sleep in these.
You know what these
But
look
that's
like?
a cartoon, and those are cartoon
These
characters
look
and not real human
This
beings.
looks
That
like-
looks like it couldn't fit
This
like a
looks
person
like
over
Boba
3
Fett's
feet
room
tall.
from Camino.
That's because it basically is. Like that's what it is. And like from an accuracy standpoint, this is really cool. Like it would be cool to be like, oh, I'm living in Star Wars world. But also
Everyone forgets that
this
sucks.
Yeah, the Star Wars world is not a fun place to live.
Everyone in Star Wars is like.
Everyone in
Except for,
Star
like,
Wars is
the
like super
super
poor
rich
because the like fascist government is taking everyone's money and enslaving them.
So they also canceled their big campus they were going to build in Florida.
Now, okay,
They were going to.
the
Can I
campus
please
that-
read it first?
the campus they were building in Florida was like a business division. It was not a park.
I know.
Okay.
I'm getting to that. You don't let me finish.
No,
speaking.
because sometimes you're wrong.
The plan was announced in July 2021 by former CEO Bob Chapek. This was his baby. He wanted to do this. He wanted to relocate 2,000 Disney Imagineers to Florida. The campus was going to open in 2022, then it was delayed to 2026 because it was going to cost too many billions of dollars.
We don't want it.
Iger had been critical of the creation of the campus since he returned to the CEO position in late 2022 because it was a multi-million-dollar construction project that pretty much served no like purpose at all.
Well, the reason they were doing
And,
it was because Florida, because in California the tax rates.
Yeah, they were
still
doing
is
it
really
for the
high, so
no
they were moving for
state
tax
income
reasons.
tax, but
yeah.
he also didn't want to move the Imagineers to Florida because Disney has the Imagineers work directly with the people at the studio. And the studio and the Imagineers both being in California is how they do that. So if you separate them by the
That
entire
Why don't you
country,
just
your
move
whole
the
system.
studio
that breaks
to
your whole
Florida?
system. Because then they'd have to relocate
Their
the
entire
100-year-old Disney studios to another state, which would cost them billions and billions of dollars to do.
Dollars they don't have
Maybe
because
even
Disney Plus makes more money.
They still
And they're losing
Disney as a company still plans on investing $17 billion in the state over the next 10 years. They want to create 3,000 more jobs there. The company tried to like publicize this as like a response to their feud with Ron DeSantis,
But
governor
really,
of
it's
Florida.
just because it's too expensive.
But really, it's been like Bob Iger never wanted to do this. This
Yeah,
was
but-
Bob Chapek's plan.
But it looks good for them if they can
It'd be
frame
like,
it as
we
like,
were
we're
gonna
s-
do
We're
this.
standing with
Yeah.
our political beliefs.
they don't.
And really, it's we thought this would save money, but it turns out it doesn't. So we're scrapping the idea.
Well, that's our news, guys. You guys want to finally get into our movie of the week?
We didn't talk about the PlayStation stuff.
Oh no, we didn't. I totally forgot about
Let me
that.
get that Spider-Man trailer pulled up.
What did they do at the PlayStation Showcase, everybody? Did they show Spider-Man?
That is all that I've seen.
No way.
Yes. they
Tucker,
did.
guess who's in it?
Is it Spider-Man?
No.
He's not in it?
It is Craven the Hunter.
We already knew that.
Okay, this is 10 minutes long.
Sam is famously
sucks.
loves the character of Kraven.
I don't even hate him. I just hate that they're making a movie about him. Like, I
Why?
don't even hate the character. The character's fine. I just hate what they're doing with the character in the movie.
Why?
It makes no sense. All right, we got a drone flying around New York
Whoa,
City.
is that New York City?
It's got a lion on it.
Well,
Cuts because the resolution of this
apparently there's 2 new
is
areas.
limited by the iPad's connection to the TV.
You can now go to
Graphics look good.
Queens.
Ray Trace. I don't know if this is a cutscene or if this is a.
That's obviously a cutscene, Sam. There is
yeah, this
game.
Is,
There
this is a cutscene, but it looks like an.
there is
animated
gameplay in this.
Ooh, we got a. Wait a minute. Spider-Man's got the symbiote suit.
Yeah, we knew that.
No, but it's not like Venom. It's
But that's like the
Spider-Man
first
with
look
the
at it.
symbiote
Yeah.
suit.
Oh, that's
He's got the big tentacle arms.
So I wonder how long he'll have these powers for.
Okay, let's see what they changed. So it looks like there's some abilities.
Well, there's a
Looks
lot. There's a
to-
lot going on right now.
We got a micro. So it looks like this the UI is pretty much the same. I wonder what these 2 like ability things on the bottom are. The 2 bumpers. They must change the weapon wheel. That's probably what they got rid of.
Yeah, I'm assuming he has a bunch of new powers, like new abilities with the symbiote suit.
Yeah.
That looks new.
Looks like there's like a. Well, no, that was in the game before. That's just a counter. It looks mostly the same.
Oh, that guy died. That guy is
Yeah.
dead now. Oh, they're
You could not do that.
They're all dead now.
So here's what happens. So they in this games you can you're gonna switch throughout the story. You're gonna switch in between.
So that suit that looks a little bit more like the like Agent Venom suit than it does.
Yeah,
like
it's
his regular
less. It's got the
suit.
gooey, but it's like
It's
more.
got, like,
It's like
armor on it,
plated.
too. Yeah,
is
it looks.
interesting.
I think it looks sick.
Okay.
Oh, you can switch to Miles.
I think it'll just have
So
you
you
switch
play
in
as
between them
both?
in and out. Yeah, throughout the game you'll play. You're gonna play. My guess is at a certain point you'll play as Miles when Peter goes crazy, and you'll have to fight him as a boss fight.
That sounds cool.
Um,
Oh, he's got a glider.
yeah,
now.
he's got. I think they both have the web wings now. But here's what happened: is because they're doing Miles in this game
Oh,
at the
there's
same time.
Fortnite wind gust.
They need to balance it out so that Miles isn't just objectively better than Peter
Tell
is.
me that that's not why that's there.
Did he do an
Oh,
anime
that's what I thought.
reference?
No. You know how they got the wind tunnels in Fortnite? It's the same thing. You know that it's the same thing. You know they saw. You know they were playing Fortnite.
No,
Like, this would be cool
no,
for
they
Spider-Man.
weren't. I can tell you they were not playing Fortnite.
There's
Sam, come on.
It's a joke. It's funny.
No,
funny
it
joke. You
wasn't.
just
It
don't.
wasn't a joke.
The joke is everything is Fortnite. and you know
Yeah,
that's the joke.
that's a joke you make in your normal everyday life.
I don't talk to other people about Fortnite. How often do you think I'm talking about Fortnite?
He talks about it.
Talk about it when we're making content.
So they needed to balance Miles and Peter out, and so Miles obviously has the bioelectricity and the invisibility, and Peter is going to have the
Wait, does he have
symbiote
the
power.
invisibility though? Because if he's
Yeah, he does.
He's trying to stealth
Um,
into this
Miles-
base. Why isn't he
You
invisible?
see that small little meter up there? That's the invisibility
Oh.
power bar. Yeah, Spider-Man Miles Morales is a pretty easy game, pretty much just because Miles' electricity makes everything super easy. So this trailer also reveals, we're not going to watch the full 10 minutes.
We can skip.
It also reveals the Lizard's going to be in this,
skip ahead a little bit.
and no, it's not the Great
No,
Serpent.
the Great Devourer, you mean?
So the Lizard is in this.
Oh, there's gas.
They show Craven later on in the trailer, and we already know Venom's gonna be in it. So that's a lot to do for one game, especially since it has Miles and Peter as both protagonists.
Well, I think the more protagonists you add, the more antagonists.
I know,
you
but
add.
like both of them and they're introducing Lizard, and they're introducing Craven, and they're introducing Venom. I think that's a lot of stuff. Especially since they're doing the symbiote suit arc before they do Venom, which means they have to.
I mean, it depends on how long the
And
game
it means
is.
they also have to introduce Eddie Brock, unless they do the Venom that isn't Eddie.
But that's fine because video games can be a lot longer than a like if this was a movie, yeah, that would be.
Yeah, no,
that'd
my
be
guess
cool-
is this
that'd
is going to be
super
like
cluttered.
twice the length of the
But
last
yeah,
one.
this game's easily going to be like 40, 50 hours.
And we'll see if they actually follow up on any of the Norman Osborn, Harry Osborn stuff. From
Okay,
the
see
last
now,
game.
how would turning invisible underwater?
But the Lizard has like
But he
super
smells,
senses. Doesn't he
yeah.
see like infrared? So like yeah, that
he
would
can
help.
also
I mean, he probably doesn't know that.
He'd figure.
Yeah.
The drone
Anyway,
should probably
looks fun.
Also.
I'm excited. I'm happy we have more than just that one image that they've been using to
Yeah, that one stock
for like the
photo of
past
Spider-Man.
2 years that they've been using
Oh,
to sell this
whoa.
game.
So the lizard's more of like the
There's a jet
crocodile in
ski.
this
Oh my
case.
gosh.
Yeah, this is exactly like
This
Fortnite.
is like exactly
Or Sam, you want
like
to talk about the other stuff that doesn't matter that they announced at the showcase?
What else did they announce?
They're
We'll keep
remaking Metal
watching
Gear
this.
Solid Snake Eater.
Good,
Yeah.
I'm glad they're doing that.
Are they doing
Um,
God of War?
Sony announced a device codenamed Project Q that will allow players to stream any game from their PlayStation 5 console using a remote play over Wi-Fi.
That'll go nowhere because that's a stupid idea.
It has an... Oh my god! They're doing a Wii U. They're doing the Wii U!
Wait, so they're okay. Is it a game tablet that you can play games on that streams them from your PS5?
They're doing the... I
That would actually.
don't know if you...
No, it wouldn't. Because why would you ever use
Sam,
that?
I could lay in bed.
I don't know if you heard me. They're
You can
doing...
do that now if you just like look at your monitor and play the game from your bed.
Sam, they're doing a Wii U.
You could do that's just as stupid as the other thing. It's the same thing.
No way. This can't be true.
They're not making.
This is a joke.
not making
This
a
is
Wii U.
no, my god, it's true.
Tucker. That's not the same thing.
They're doing the Wii U.
That's not what the Wii. That's not what the gamepad did.
It's... I don't know if you're looking at this device right now, but it's a tablet, and on the sides is it has two halves of a PlayStation 5.
Tucker, they're doing a Switch, not a Wii U.
But that is...
Because you don't play it with the console. You don't use it for games on the console. You use it to stream games from the console.
I guess.
It's just a Switch that
what's
is
the
locked
distance?
to your house Wi-Fi.
8-inch
the point
HD
of that?
screen.
Oh, the point is.
Let's see, 1080p, 60
well, see,
FPS
the
over
point
Wi-Fi.
would be that you could play games in your house. Well, no.
It's set
You
to
can
launch
play
this
them
year.
on your couch and
When
stuff.
your
Oh,
dad's
no.
using the TV, you can still play your PS5.
You can
For
only
houses-
do it via Wi-Fi.
For houses with enough money to have
So-
a PS5, but not
Yeah, you
enough
They're
can
money
making
to
walk
have
out-
through your
TVs.
house.
It's a location-strapped version of the Steam Deck.
How much does it cost?
No,
Did they
that
say?
means it's literally no. They didn't reveal price or
Okay,
launch
so
date.
assuming it costs less than $100, because that's the price.
Well, they're
of,
gonna
like,
have to sell it as like a
entry-level TV.
controller, right?
What if you're on a road trip, right, and your car has Wi-Fi, but
So
you don't have a portable monitor? So you pull out your good old tablet and you start playing on the
okay, so give me
It's literally
give me
connect to it
give me one reason to buy this instead of a Steam Deck.
It's a PS5.
This is a PS5.
But it's not because I can't play
But
it unless I'm
I don't
already
think
next
Sam.
to my PS5.
I don't think you're understanding.
It's the same
It doesn't
price as
play
Steam
VR games.
No.
Yeah, but neither does the Steam Deck.
I don't think you're understanding.
Why are you comparing it to a Steam Deck?
Because that's what it's
It's
competing
just a
with.
portable
Because
monitor.
That's
it's
what
not a
Steam
portable
Deck is,
monitor.
except for the Steam Deck actually
Steam
can
Deck
also
It is
play
a
games.
slightly.
Yeah, so it's worse than
No,
a Steam Deck.
Steam Deck is just a better Switch.
It is a slightly more technically advanced
This is just
Wii
a
U
worse
gamepad.
Switch.
No, it's not a Switch. It's just a portable monitor with.
That's what a Switch is.
No,
Except for the Switch also
because
runs the
it's not
games.
just a Switch is a console with a built-in monitor. This is just a monitor.
Yeah,
with
this is a
controls.
peripheral. It
That's what
doesn't
I'm
run
saying.
anything on
But
its
it's
own.
going to be priced the same. And what are you going to use it for?
Playing
You're gonna
PlayStation
use
5
it to
while I'm
play
taking
games.
it.
You're going to
You
use it
don't.
if you
The
buy it.
answer is you don't
Listen,
use it.
If you buy it, the ideal scenario is you use it to play games,
You
correct?
Yeah,
can't compare it
presumably.
to that. That's
Why
like comparing, because it's like comparing the Wii U gamepad to a
Yeah,
Switch.
that is
No,
what you're doing.
exactly. Because one is useless and one is just definitively
Sam,
better. Why
no
would you
one-
ever buy one instead of the other?
No one is going, should I buy the Steam Deck
Yeah.
or my portable
You're not
monitor?
deciding in between the two. You own a
They're
PS5
not
and you're going,
competing.
should I buy this very
But
expensive
why would
peripheral?
you buy that?
You wouldn't. There's no reason to
Shut
buy
up.
it.
Think for like more than 2 seconds about like stop being skeptical. Why would a reasonable human
Okay.
who is looking for this product, why would you buy that? What is the actual reason it's made?
So that if your PS5 is in a room in a different part of your house and you want to play PS5 in a different part of your house without having to move your PS5, you could play it.
So you
on
want
the
to
thing.
play the PS5 portably.
Not even
You
really
want to be able
portably.
to move around your house.
Only around your house and nowhere else.
Only around your house. Now, would you say it's better or worse if you could go other places?
It's better if you could go other
So
places.
it is better if you can go other places than just your house.
Yes.
So you want to play games portably,
Uh-huh.
and it would be better if you could do it in places other than just your house.
And it'd be really
But you've
cool if
already-
I could connect it to my TV.
But you've already bought a
Also.
PS5.
So if it like came with a dock and you could like hook it up to the TV.
Yeah.
You already bought a PS5.
No,
so
you're
this is not a comparison.
Yeah,
to the Steam
Sam,
Deck.
you're doing something
Like
dumb,
at
which
all.
is comparing this
No,
to an actual console.
I'm not. Why do people
This
buy?
isn't a
Why do
console.
people buy Switches and PS5s or Switches and
Because
Xboxes?
the Switch has Mario on it.
Because you can play games portably. That's
What
why
do you
people
And
buy
it
a
has
Switch.
Mario on it.
And it has Mario on it, but
if
that's not my
Mario
point.
was on the PS5, people would buy the PS5.
People buy the PS5 already, and there's no Mario on it.
Exactly.
What is your point?
I'm saying they're buying the Switch for more than the reason that it's portable.
The reason that this is made is to compete with other portable handheld gaming systems.
No, it's not. It's just
Oh,
a
it
monitor.
isn't.
Then what does it compete with?
It's
What is it?
It's there to be a peripheral.
No,
it's not
it's
an
'cause-
independent system.
It's because they had
Look
that
at your hair
stupid
bouncing
phone
around.
thing
They're-
where you can play it on your phone.
Wait.
And they were like, what if we just make a
What?
controller that does
So
that?
you're saying
yeah.
it competes with Xbox game streaming? That's what it competes
Yes.
They're testing the
Like a little bit.
What they're actually doing is testing the waters for their own type of Switch later on down the
with.
line.
Oh.
But that's not what this
really?
is. This is a
I
test.
know. But that's what it is.
Again, this is-
that is what is it? The end goal.
That's
is.
why I'm comparing it to the Wii U GameCAD because it's a peripheral. That's a test for a feature they're going to develop
But
later
it's
on
not
down the
a
line.
peripheral you use in tandem with the device.
This is supposed to be used
Yeah,
in
this
tandem.
is-
But
no,
this
in
has to be
tandem with the
connected with the
device.
PS5.
You're not going to be using this as a controller while you're playing your PS5.
I think
you're just going to play
you might be
PS5
able
games
to.
on it.
Yeah.
They're not going. No one's going to develop games like that for the PS5. No, one's
No,
gonna
I'm
do
not
that.
saying like asynchronous. I'm saying like you could use because it's a full controller. It's just got a tablet glued in
But
between it.
there's no reason to do that instead of using your regular controller.
There's no
Still have
reason
on the
to
dock.
use this at all.
But what I'm saying is the whole reason this exists is so you can play PS5 games portably when you're connected to Wi-Fi, right?
It's not.
It's not really portably.
But you could take it to your friend's house who has Wi-Fi and you can play your PS5
No,
games
because it has
there.
to be connected to the same Wi-Fi network as the PS5.
Wait,
Does it
is
say
this
that?
our current
Yes.
show?
Where does it say that?
It does not
This is last
report
week's.
currently supports cellular. You might need to tether it to a phone or a hotspot. Only mentioned over Wi-Fi.
Does
They
it-
really didn't say anything about it.
PlayStation Remote Play, but they made it.
Yeah, but you can do that
Yeah.
without being on the same network as your
You
PS5,
have to
right?
be like right. You have to be.
I think they did give like a limitation. I'm trying to find what it is though. Like of like how far you can be from it. Again, they pretty much just put like a reveal video. They also at the same time revealed their first ever PlayStation earbuds. It's just another controller. It's got
the
a
point
dumb
is no one's
feature.
gonna buy it.
I don't
Anyways,
think
let's just-
I don't think you're like it looks really. It's literally like
Why
a.
don't you show it?
They didn't even alter the
Just turn your
dual.
laptop around.
They didn't even alter the DualSense controller. It's literally just cut in half, and they just stuck a tablet in between it.
Yeah, that looks
And that's it.
really dumb.
Like, who are you gonna sell that to? It's so
Oh!
stupid. Patrick, oh my god.
That's a Christmas.
Calm down. Patrick.
Games must be installed on PS5 console and excludes VR games.
Sony's next PlayStation handheld.
It relies on remote play and won't be a cloud gaming device.
Like if they were making a PS Vita.
It's codenamed Project Q.
You light.
Yeah,
Piece of
see,
Sony
remote
hardware.
Play. Remote play with.
It's just
But-
remote play. You can't. It's not cloud streaming.
Oh, then yeah, that's just
Also, the
really,
remote
really
play
dumb.
sucks.
Project Q has its own quirk in that it can only stream games over Wi-Fi. But if you're looking
Up to
for a
1080p,
Sony,
60 FPS.
you might want to put some money aside for Project Q. If you want to try
Somebody
remote
beside
play,
the project-
so it's a feat. Okay.
Oh, it's an LCD display too.
Yeah, no, it's a terrible idea. I don't know why they thought this was cool.
It's not even good.
No, it's just an LCD. It's 1080 and it can do 60 FPS, but that's it.
But see, the whole
So it's a higher resolution than like the Switch OLED, but it's like a worse
the whole
screen
reason I
overall.
brought this up is because right now you can do PlayStation Remote
No.
Play on your Steam Deck.
You're right.
You can do that already.
It's literally
it's just what I was saying.
it's just a
but
new
you guys-
device to do remote play on. It doesn't do anything different.
I know, but that's what I was saying. Is like, why would you buy this over? Because the
This
Steam
isn't
Deck is just
500.
better.
Why would you not just buy a third-party controller and remote play to like your phone or tablet?
Because you can remote play to a Steam Deck and also play those games non.
I'm not talking about the Steam Deck.
I know, but I'm saying there's no reason to buy this instead of a Steam Deck.
in the Steam Deck is $500.
But there's no reason to buy this. There's no reason.
There's no reason to buy this.
Yeah, there's no reason to
Period.
buy this when a Steam Deck exists. Like if the Steam Deck exists, there's no reason for this.
Why
to
are
exist.
I don't understand why you're comparing. That's fine. Whatever.
Because they're both high-end portable gaming handhelds.
This
This
is
isn't a portable.
It is portable, just not as portable as other gaming handhelds.
No, they
are.
slapped a controller on a phone.
I know.
Only use
I know. It's really dumb.
gonna-
That's
I'm
what
gonna-
I'm saying. It's just a worse version of what already exists.
Also, it'll match
Patrick
me
has-
like. It'll match
all right.
like 100
Assassin's Creed Mirage, new Assassin's Creed.
Oh, good. Wait
It's
a minute.
coming to
Wait. What happened to the other one? Where was it?
What other one?
The one with ninjas that everyone's been wanting for like a decade.
Is it this one?
No.
What
The
one with
other
the
one was
ninjas?
Assassin's Creed like Red, I think is what.
Alan Wake 2. No, we never even
Yes!
talked about Fast
Patrick,
X.
we're not even done.
God, I love
We've been
Alan
here for like
Wake
2 hours.
We've been here for 1 hour and 40 minutes.
because you guys would stop.
All right, there's nothing else. There's nothing else.
No, wait, go back to the
No,
Assassin's
there's
Creed
really
thing.
there's really nothing
We
of
just talked
note.
about Fast X and then
All right, let's talk about Fast X.
it sucked. It was
All right, so Fast X,
I have a lot of
it
takes.
just came out. We saw it, directed by Louis Leterrier, starring everyone who's ever been in a Fast and Furious movie. They're all back.
Yep, no one
So
ever
before we
dies.
do spoilers, I know you can't. I know it's hard for you.
Patrick, you didn't even see half the movie.
So we saw.
Oh yeah, I
so
fell asleep.
We saw this all together. Patrick fell asleep. I think for like the last 10 minutes.
No, for like the last hour.
No, it wasn't that long.
It might have been
No,
that
it-
long.
No,
it-
when did you
last
check?
hour.
When did you
I
like?
woke him up and he went back to sleep.
When did you fall asleep?
I couldn't tell. Okay, give it. Someone remember. remind me
Okay.
of what
Well,
happened.
okay. So, Fast X, Dom is back,
Dom Toretto.
and his whole family is back. Jason Momoa plays the Joker.
Yep, he
Um,
is just the Joker.
Sam, what did you think of Fast X, the 10th entry in the Fast and Furious saga?
I was not disappointed,
Well, that's good.
but my expectations were below the floor. So it's not hard for me not to be disappointed. I thought it was fun. Like I laughed because of how dumb it was.
I did. Yeah, I did laugh a couple times.
Like it was,
I remember we just look at each other and we're like, oh my god. This.
Honestly,
every single line of dialogue was absolutely
I
hilarious.
was like ready for it going in.
but it was like way
So I
funnier
think I
than
had
thought
a
it would
pretty
be.
good time. Like I had a pretty fun time, but like if I was not like mentally prepared to watch it, I don't think I would have like been fine with it as much as I was.
Nah, yeah, I would never watch
Oh,
this.
I remember what was happening. There was
Well,
that
let's
whole
wait for the
thing.
wait to the
Oh
spoilers
yeah.
part. But so generally, This movie has 45 million characters, and they're all
And
split
it was
up.
5 hours long.
I think it was just over 2. I don't think it was that long.
It
But, like,
felt long.
Felt
This-
like a good nap.
Okay, this movie is so strange. This whole franchise has become so weird because on one side it's the ultimate Vin Diesel vanity project, where the whole movie is about how
you don't
cool-
want that.
Is about how cool he is, and how everything he does is amazing, and how everybody loves him, and how Dom is just the coolest man to ever live.
Okay, wait.
And then on the other side, it's this cartoon
Family.
with every single famous person you've ever seen in your entire life, all in one movie. But the two sides never merge because Vin Diesel is separated from everybody else in
Yeah,
the
for
movie
the whole movie.
because everybody hates him. Like the actor Vin Diesel, nobody likes, and so they're
Yeah, he's, like, by
it's-
himself
It's
for the
two
majority
sides
of
to
the
the
movie.
same coin, where like Vin Diesel never interacts with any of the other characters because he's off just doing random stuff. Like he'll just like jump countries like from scene to scene.
Yeah.
just doing random things that
We
don't
never
seem
see
to
him
be
travel.
related.
He just like is in another.
No,
place
he's
now.
just there.
I don't think he got an ounce of.
Well, Max, Dom is too cool to sleep.
Okay, who do you think? Who do you think is the better, coolest guy? Do you think Top Gun Maverick is a better pilot, or do you think Dom Toretto is a better driver?
You say who would win in a? Does Dom have his car?
Dom has his car.
Dom
but,
has his signature
But Maverick
car?
has his signature plane.
Maverick doesn't have a signature plane.
But he can fly. That
He
makes
can
him,
fly anything.
That makes it better.
But
He
when
can fly
Dom
any
is in his
plane.
car, he's basically Iron Man.
That's right. He did say, but you didn't take.
They didn't
my
take his car.
Oh, that's true.
Okay,
Captain Pilot's even
Pilot
more
would one-shot
overpowered.
Dom Toretto in a heartbeat. But like Dom Toretto in his car can literally jump out of an airplane and crush 2 other cars, and the car still
And
works.
then pull down 2 helicopters.
Oh my gosh, you guys remember that was funny.
Remember when he took that door and used it as a Captain America shield?
Remember when he lifted a car with one arm, but later in the movie, 2 helicopters can't lift his car?
What a good movie.
Remember when that happened?
Remember when he put his foot on the gas and it like pulled the car to the ground?
Yeah, because he turned on the
Which doesn't make any no.
Because the nitro made his car.
I
heavy.
was happy to see the return of the NOS.
Yeah, every car has
the
NOS
last
too
movie
now.
they didn't really use like early on in the Fast and Furious franchise. They were hitting the NOS all the time.
That was like that.
They got
super
later
power.
on and it got too big of a scale. I like how we're back to like we're hitting the NOS and like cool stuff
I
happens.
like how it's just like in this world, just like a Mario mushroom. Like it's a Mario.
you just
mushroom.
like
just
stick
makes
it
you
in
go
your car
fast.
and you go fast. And there's 0 consequences to it on
Yeah,
your vehicle.
it never goes wrong.
No, it always works.
Were there like risks to it in the initial movies, or
if
was
you
it
hit
always...
the NOS too hard, your car will like burn out.
But that never happens.
It does. It happens in the first movie.
No. I mean now it doesn't.
Oh no, it does never happen. No, I mean Dom Toretto's too cool to let that happen.
No, the NOS starts.
So Sam, let's talk about all of our characters. We have Dom Toretto. We have his wife, who they're split up for most of this movie. She's
The entire movie except for the first like 10 minutes.
yeah, again probably because they hate each other. We have like
But in
the
movie, they
we
love
we have
the
like the
beautiful
main like
world.
trio, which is like Tyrese, Tej, and then the hacker lady from Game of Thrones. Don't look that up.
That's what I
Played it on the show like 8 times.
We gotta do it every time. Fast
No,
and
because
Furious happens.
every time he's talking to someone, this is all I hear.
I can't unmute it. It doesn't want to unmute.
Just press the volume up button. You're gonna have to rewind
It
this.
doesn't want to do anything.
Give me the remote.
We gotta do it every time. Where
Why my TV don't work?
what I was telling you, man. If only someone had told you it wasn't working.
Why is this button working, not the
Just
other
turned it
buttons?
off. iPad's.
Maybe this remote's broken.
Give me the remote.
Like, why does some of these buttons work and not the other buttons?
Give
Is
me
there
a
a mute
headache.
button on the TV?
No. Well, I guess we can't play the beautiful world.
No, we
clip.
have to play it. It's required. Fine. We'll just turn it on the iPad and play the. The audio is really what matters.
Play it directly into the mic.
Audio. Oh wait. I can turn. Can I turn the volume up on here? Okay. Disconnect
try
from the TV. There it goes.
It worked. It works for Patrick.
You're welcome. And he was married.
How am I supposed to do this?
Yes, kids.
And this woman. So beautiful. Tell me your story.
Tell me your story. Talk to me.
God, I love
trying so hard.
He's got so much Riz, it's like it's insane.
His levels are off the charts.
Dom to Rizzler. Okay, that's enough of that. We get the idea.
Anyway, so Sam, we have our main crew, which also includes Han on top of Tyrese Tejan, the hacker lady, and then we have Dom's brother Jacob Toretto, who in this movie has just turned into John Cena and is no longer the same character from the last
he's
movie.
like just a normal normal
Ah!
uncle guy. Shush, shush.
Don't play the audio from the last episode. No one
Calm
wants to hear
down.
that. He's just turned into normal John Cena.
Yeah, he's just like a happy dude.
He's just a happy, goofy. I liked him in this though.
No, he was way.
He was one of the few parts of the movie I enjoyed. His subplot is really stupid. It has no, not yet. It has barely anything to do with anything
Isn't
else.
he just watching the kid?
Yeah, pretty much.
But like, I liked his character in this.
he
I
was,
also
like,
liked his
genuinely
very
really fun in
stupid. I
this.
also liked his very stupid rocket car, which was the dumbest thing.
Oh,
in the
I
movie.
have thoughts.
I
about
know.
Rocket
We'll get
Car.
to it in
I
spoilers.
loved that.
Who else? We have a million. We have the main villain, who is
The
Jason
Joker.
Momoa. Who is, when I say the Joker, he's not like doing like straight up the Joker,
He's kind of like the.
but he's like the same type of character in that like his plan requires like 50 different things to just happen by accident, and it just always does.
Yeah.
Like his plan is this. Dom will like foil that part, but conveniently end up right here. And then Jason Momoa's character was like, "That was my plan the whole time."
I've got you, Dom.
He's also the
Toretto.
same as in like he threatens all of his goons into working for him.
He also always calls him Dommy Boy, which is like it just gave me like Batsy vibes.
But the funniest part of him was like he's such a random villain in that he's a retcon character connected to like the random like one-off nothing villain from
Fast and Furious
5
4,
movies
yeah,
ago.
5, whatever one that was.
Like this franchise is so intrinsically tied into its own lore, and they're 11 movies in. Like who's keeping up with this? Like are they writing the script being like, yeah, everyone is thoroughly familiar with the Fast and Furious lore from a movie that came out a decade ago, and we can just draw stuff from that and they'll
No, I
remember.
think they expect that you aren't, which is why they flash back to that one scene like 5 different times, and every time they show a new character who is just around the corner or just
there.
past this part that you didn't see
So we
before.
also have
My favorite was
I think they count on you forgetting what happened.
yeah.
my favorite was the double retcon that they pull at the very
Yeah.
end. We'll get
so
into
we also
spoilers,
have,
but I want to talk about the double.
We also have
retcon.
Brie Larson's character, who is in like 4 scenes.
and she's just like around.
She's just around.
I don't. Did she?
She
do
doesn't really
anything?
pay off in any way. Like
She
a little
stabbed
bit.
the wife so she could get out of the jail cell.
That's it.
That's literally all she does.
No. She like does nothing.
Yeah, though that's it. All she does is go to the wife,
But, like,
talk to her, and stab her. and
Or
leave.
at some point, Letty ends up in jail, and like she needs to get to the medbay to escape. That's not really a spoiler, but like she didn't need to be stabbed by her. She could have just like given herself an injury.
Yeah, she could have just like jumped off the bed. Like
Like,
the room was made
Brie
of
Larson.
rocks.
By the way, Brie Larson is related to Kurt Russell's character.
Yeah, she
from
is the
last
daughter
few-
of Mr.
Nobody,
who
but
has
not
done-
related to Little Nobody, who's Scott Eastwood's character, who's also in this movie for like 2 scenes, and that is written out. And then we throw in like the new leader of the very vague agency who works for the agency
But
people
okay,
in
for
the
context,
police.
Mr. Nobody is gone missing. No one knows where he is.
They
and so they had to replace him with a new guy, agent guy.
Some guy. It's
And
Alan
he's like,
Richardson.
the spy. I'm the spy
It's,
man, and I'm hunting him down.
It's Hawk from Titans.
Sure.
Well, you watch that show?
I don't remember Hawk from Titans.
Remember Hawk
Oh,
and
the
Dove?
actor. Yeah, the actor's
Yeah.
the same. I thought you meant like he's the
No,
same
it's
as
not the
character.
same
Like,
kid.
what?
What?
What do you mean it's Hawk from that guy?
No, it's
yeah,
it's him.
the same actor.
It's
yeah.
also he also plays Jack Reacher on Amazon Prime.
He's
But,
like, the tough agent.
He's
guy.
one of the few remaining very large actors in Hollywood, and part of Vin Diesel's plan for movie domination is just to assemble every very large, muscly actor in the world into one movie franchise.
working.
I bet they like pass out roids on.
This movie, it's so long.
A free
It's
juice
so,
bar.
It's so weird. How did
All right,
you?
let's talk about spoilers now.
You want to get into? Would you recommend or would you not recommend?
Recommend if you want to see a goofy explosion
wouldn't.
fest, But if you want to see like a real, if you want to actually watch a good movie, obviously no.
Would
But-
you say this
but
was
if you
better than
see-
F9?
Say it's exactly the same. Like if you had fun watching
I think
F9,
it's better than
you'll
F9.
have fun watching this movie.
Patrick,
They're
would
all
you-
the same.
Would you recommend Fast X? Patrick
Patrick
hated
fell
it.
asleep. For
Patrick
the
was
whole last hour of
very
the movie.
upset.
It's a very expensive nap.
We were very upset. He was very upset. We made him watch it.
I did not want to go.
He was grumpy the whole time. He fell asleep. He talked through the whole thing just to spite the other people in the theater.
There were like 3 other people.
Yeah,
in
to be
the
fair, there was like
theater.
no one else.
There was a bunch of people in front
There
of
were
us.
3 people. No, the whole row in front of us was empty. There were 3 people up top, and then 3 rows down from us, there were 2 rows that were.
Yeah,
full.
Not
related-
like I was some kind of demon in there. No.
Related to that, Fast X opened a 67.5 million domestically, which is a little bit less than F9 did 2 years ago. 319 globally, which is pretty good. That's up from the last one. So as always, this is a internationally popular
Successful
franchise
movie.
that is not very big in the US because everyone here stopped caring.
'Cause
But
it's
China
dumb.
loves these. I don't know why,
I
but
think
they
it's
love
because
them.
you can just see them without any context, and they'll
Or
always
like
be the same.
having to understand any of the words that are being said. Like you could
The
air.
dialogue is very easy to translate because they.
Well,
what
like
they
you
say
can tell
is-
what's happening.
They say,
The guy
"Welcome to beautiful
with the
world."
knife wants to kill Dom, and he just does explosions. Like there's nothing.
Yeah,
to
there's not a
follow.
lot to translate.
There's no plot. All right, let's get into some spoilers. Let's start off with the ending. What did you think of the ending that didn't exist, where the movie just stopped?
Oh, I love when Dom goes, but you forgot about my car. And then him and his son drive down a dam, like not the Las Vegas dam, a different,
I don't remember where they
different
are.
dam. And they drive down, because there's these 2 trucks full of gas that are about to crash into him on this dam. So he drives over the wall and like drives down into like where the river is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Joker goes, but you forgot about my bombs,
That he
Batman.
put all over the.
And he
that
blows
he put
up
all over the dam just in case they ended up there. And his plan is to lure Dom and his son to the dam, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Then to have the 2 trucks confront him. He's assumed
After he blew up his friend's plane.
yes, which he does somehow. And
Because Agent Double Cross
Yes,
has a
'cause-
bazooka in his
because
pocket.
Jack Reacher is turned out to be a villain the whole time, which I saw a million miles.
He was a
away.
villain to start. He started as a villain.
You know he's a
almost became
you know he's a
and
villain.
stayed a villain.
You know he's a villain because he hates barbecues, and you're like, oh, he can't join the crew.
He can't be in the family.
He can't be in the
doesn't like-
family.
he
He
doesn't
hates
like
barbecues.
Corona.
So they blow up their friend's plane.
They're
which
all
is
on a
like,
plane.
Which is
Everyone except Dom is on a plane.
Which is the normal. That's Han. That's Ramsey. That's the other.
the supporting cast is on a
That's
plane.
the main team, right? Their plane blows up. They crash, right? I guess their plan was just to like find something.
Oh no! So when
Where was their plan? Were they gonna jump out of the plane?
they were gonna pick him up.
How? They're in like a passenger airliner.
They were gonna pick him up.
They were just
They
gonna.
were gonna do that.
They were just gonna swoop in, and he was just gonna walk onto the moving
No,
end.
I think they were good. I think him and Agent Super Agent, like the plane and the Agent Super Agent's plane, were gonna go to the same airport, and they were gonna leave. But then it turned out Agent Super Agent was actually a bad guy,
villain.
and he wasn't flying to the airport, and he had a bazooka in his pocket, and he shot down their plane. And now in the next movie, it's going to be revealed that they all jumped out before the plane crashed. 'Cause
There's 5 fake deaths
the
in this
plane
movie.
flies behind a hill
Yeah.
and then crashes.
Yeah.
So of course, they all jump out.
Honestly,
and
they probably
survive.
won't even jump out. They probably just survived the
Yeah,
explosion.
they're probably just explosions.
because that's what they're gonna do with Jacob Toretto,
Yeah.
John Cena, who.
Well, we'll get into that in a minute.
Okay, but the ending is his plan. Lure him to the dam.
Yeah.
Reveal that Agent Man is evil. Right. Blow up his friend's plane. Pull out 2 like
Fully tanked up
semi trucks, and then
which are being driven by like AI technology.
yeah, something like that. And then his plan is that won't work. Dom will still have his car. He'll reverse off the dam into the valley below, survive. But then, luckily, he planted a bunch of landmines all over the dam.
Which didn't explode when the trucks
No.
exploded.
He had to prime them, and then he blew those up. The dam explodes. Dom now doesn't have a working car.
There was that
What's he
bomb
gonna
that
do?
was just like rolling around and caught fire and never
Never blew up.
Oh, I liked how he didn't just blow up the dam as soon as Dom got there, which would have killed him.
But that's not as theatrical.
No, then he
Also,
can't
the
do
writers didn't think of that until the next page.
Yeah, because they obviously didn't come up with the bomb thing, because the bombs were not on the dam until the scene where he reveals that they're there.
No, he was
Because they're
just like,
driving on the dam and we see the dam and there's no bombs.
no, and he like
then
shoots
Dom-
a missile at him, so there's like stuff blowing up behind him as he's driving down
Yeah,
the
and
side
we
of the
don't
dam.
see them. And then he gets
Again,
to
the bombs
bottom,
don't go off,
and then he gets to the bottom,
and then
goes-
he's like, "I had bombs the whole time." Ooh.
he's literally just a Joker. I did,
And
like,
that's where the movie ends.
yeah, that's how it just
It
stops.
just stops, and then we have another scene after that, where Letty and
The villain from the 8th movie.
Cypher, who's good now.
She's she's just not evil.
She's in the family. She's gonna be in the
She's
family.
gonna
now.
be in the fan. She likes Corona.
Who,
being now.
despite like trying to kill them for like the past 2 or 3 movies,
multiple times.
it's just like, well, Jason Momoa turned all my dudes against me, so now I'm on your team, Dom.
I guess I'm a good dude.
I liked their fight
The enemy of my
The fight between
in
Letty
the medical lab.
Yeah, that's the one that the director
That-
wasn't there for.
Yeah, I know, but that was the only one that felt like, you know how they have
The
that
choreography
thing,
was
you
like
know how they
decent.
have that thing where they have to mathematically like
Yeah.
equalize. That was the only one that wasn't like that.
I felt like
Where
it
that one-
basically was.
That one felt like more brutal though, where they were like tacking each
Yeah,
other
no, there
over
were
the window.
there were some hits
Yeah.
in this movie where I was like, oh, that hurt. Like when she grabs a dude's
Yeah.
head and like smashes him into the elevator.
But everything else, when like Dom fights anyone, it's just
No, it's
like
a cartoon. Yeah,
it's a cartoon show.
he's like Captain America.
No, okay, but they escaped the prison. They are walking through the Arctic, and Gal Gadot's character, who died in 4 movies ago,
And I guess Cypher had been in contact.
I
with
guess,
somehow.
and who hasn't been in contact with Han because Han's been depressed for all of the movies since
because
he
he
died.
thought she was dead.
But I guess she just didn't feel like reaching out.
She was just trying to break up and didn't know how to
Yeah.
say it.
So she pulls up in like a 1930s German submarine,
Which was under the ice.
which was under the ice, and she's just like, "Hi, it's me," and then the movie ends, and then there's a post-credit scene.
I thought that was the post-credit scene.
No, the post-credit scene is The Rock.
Oh yeah.
That was obviously shot like 2 weeks ago,
Mhm.
and he like pulls up.
And the Joker has set up like
The
a
Joker
whole
is
bunch
in
of
like an
screens.
abandoned theater that they don't like. Why was he there?
Or no, because that's what the Joker would do.
Yeah.
If the Joker was gonna do that, he would pick either an abandoned theater or an abandoned theme park, set up a bunch of screens with like laughing goblin footage, and he would find it. He's literally the Joker.
And then he's like, "Ha ha ha! I'm gonna come get you next, Luke Hobbs." And Luke Hobbs is like, "Come at me, bro!" And then he smashes the walkie-talkie.
And there was the other part where like the Joker is like talking to 2 like corpses. He's like taped their eyes open and
Yeah.
he's like painting their nails and he's like, I'm gonna do an evil plan. It's gonna be so evil.
He's just the
And he's-
Joker.
Yeah, he's just the Joker.
Which makes sense, because Dom is just Batman at this point.
Dom has
He
just
has
slowly
he
become
has a
Batman.
Batmobile.
He's got a Bat family.
He's super good at karate. He's a stoic loner, but he has 80 million family members
He
and sidekicks.
supposedly has no superpowers, but he basically
He
has
basically
every
has superpowers,
superpower.
and he has like a global spy agency that like supplies him and his pals with super gadgets. He's just Batman.
He's just Batman if Batman wasn't smart.
No, but he is smart. He's the smartest guy ever said.
But in the movies, he's
I don't
not
know if you
smart.
were watching the movie, but Dom Toretto is like the greatest man to ever exist.
He's kind of smart.
No,
And
but
the
he's
only
not like
man better than Dom Toretto is the actor who plays him, and that's Vin Diesel.
But he doesn't do any like smart moves. Like he just like does stuff.
Yeah, he drove that car off.
Oh,
that
he
end.
did do the bridge batting.
That's
move.
right. Yeah,
There's a part where a bomb's rolling around the Vatican,
and he goes.
and there's a bridge, and there's a crane next to the bridge,
and he bats the
and
bomb.
the bomb's rolling down the bridge,
With
and
the-
so he
with the
drives
crane.
into the crane, and it swivels and hits the bomb off the bridge like
Into
a
the
baseball
water.
bat, into the water, where it still destroys like all of the city, but it was in the water, so it was okay, I guess.
He's just the best. He's just the best there ever was.
Also, I like how they're all like internationally wanted now, even though it's very obvious to anyone watching that they were like trying to stop the bomb from exploding.
Well, but the evil agent man, was trying to go after them. So like he could have just done it.
Yeah, he
to
just
be
wanted.
evil.
But then why didn't they just say they're going after him anyway? What is even the point of the pretense then?
Why would you ask that? No one
Also, I love how Dom.
This ends on a cliffhanger, and they started writing the sequel 2 weeks ago. They have no
it
idea
doesn't
where any
end
of
on a
this is going.
cliffhanger. It ends on a cliff explosion.
That's true.
But my other favorite part was at the beginning, the very beginning, where he's standing in his garage,
Yeah.
looking at pictures of the family.
That was so
and
weird.
they're all just stills from the
no,
movies.
of the movies. That was
So
really funny.
here's my theory.
No, and then when the Joker is playing Luke Hobbs, footage.
He
on
also
his
has
screens.
footage from the
He's
movie.
just straight up playing like edited movie clips from
So
the past.
here's
movies.
my theory. There is another member of the family
Uh-huh.
that never speaks, that never interacts with them at all,
Who was just
but
videoing.
who's just been videoing everything they're doing since like 2003.
Maybe that's what Brian's been doing since he's not on camera anymore.
Maybe.
He's watching the kids.
Well, no, because there's footage of him though, so there's
But
got to
he's
be it's gotta
watching
be
the
another
kids.
guy.
He's watching the kids though right now.
It's true. There's another member of the
Do you
family
think they
who's
bring
been
him
recording
back?
this whole time.
So this movie is slightly doing worse than they want. It's not going to make any money because this movie cost $350 million.
That's insane.
But when they do, if they
how did this movie cost as much as like Avengers?
Because one, the whole cast up front, total, the whole cast got paid $100 million.
it
And
doesn't even seem that crazy though.
so that's and then
Like Avengers Endgame cost $300 million to make.
that was them like
But that's the same.
It probably
It's them
cost
like
way
doing whatever. Like that also probably costs way more. But what I'm saying is like their stated numbers are like around the same number. Like how on earth did this cost
Well,
in the same
this
ballpark?
also had billions. This also had millions that was just burned because remember Justin Lin, who was supposed to direct this, quit like after a week because Vin Diesel was so annoying.
Yeah.
And then they had to delay everything. They had to find a new director, bring him in, and then he had to finish the job. So and now I forgot what I was gonna say, Sam.
This is my fault. You always ramble on for 30 minutes about
How
something.
do you feel about John Cena definitely dying for
Oh my
real?
gosh, that was my favorite.
Oh wait, no. Hold up. Here's what I was gonna say. If they do 2 more, do you think they bring Paul Walker back in the next one or the one after that?
No, they bring him in the very last one.
Like at the very end.
He dies. But
Do you think he's gonna hang around for the whole movie, or do you think he'd just be in
No,
one
he'll
scene?
show up halfway through the movie.
Because it's gonna happen, no question about it.
Yeah, no, they've already said
It
it's
makes
gonna
no sense that he's not there.
Yeah,
Because like the evil man is going after Dom's whole family, except for Brian, who's just at home, like
who's just chilling
with his kids just
at his
eating-
house, which was
eating cereal.
raided by like the
No,
CIA.
that was Dom's house. That was
they all
raided
live
by
in the
this.
same house?
No,
It looks like the same.
no.
house.
Brian and his sister. His sister is Brian's wife.
and his sister was at
His sister
Dom's
was
house.
there because she's not dead in real life, and she was watching Dom's son, who, by the way, is who they're prepping to take over this franchise. By the way,
Obviously, yeah.
Fast and Furious Part 13.
No, it'll be called Fast and Famous.
Brian Toretto.
That's a name.
That's the name.
Okay, anyway,
John Cena's character.
yeah, okay, that was my favorite.
That was so funny.
That was my favorite character death, I think, in all of movie history. Because
well, he's not dead though.
It's yeah, okay, but we're supposed to think he's dead.
You were supposed to think.
But
he's-
it w- 'cause
it's
it
funny
was-
that they do that fake out, and then they immediately blow up 4 other characters and like they also blow up, and like
Every character
They
blows up.
obviously want you to think that all 5 of them are really dead,
And the Dom is also about to
they're
die.
also really gonna die.
Like, okay, so
It's funny because it's such a cartoonish death,
yeah, I want to explain the,
but they
the death.
play it so sincerely.
I want to explain the death. Okay, so John Cena has Dom's kid in his car, and they're trying to escape the Joker. And the Joker nabbed him out of his car, but then Dom nabbed him back out of the Joker's car. So now John Cena's alone in his car, and his gun was jammed, but the kid fixed it. That's
That's why.
so his gun's fit. He has a cannon on like the front and the back of his car. That's how it works. And so he's driving, and he pulls up next to Dom, and he's like, Dom, there's only one way I can stop them. And I was like, what do you mean? You have a giant cannon that you could use to stop them? And he goes, no, there's only one way I can stop them. And he pulls a giant lever, and the cannons, for some reason, point directly at the ground.
I
And
guess for
then-
this one specific suicide scenario.
and then he pulls another lever, and they fire at the ground, and his car shoots into the air, flips upside down, and then lands on top of the bad guy's cars. Not the main bad guy, different bad guys. And he explodes. Because his truck had a suicide bomber mode.
But the
Why?
whole time they're playing where they're like, oh no, don't do it, Jacob. No! And then he's just like,
But for one, the audience didn't know that that was even an option. Two,
'Cause
the
why would
fact
you
that
put
that is
that
an
on
option
there?
is extremely stupid.
one cannon car in the first place is extremely dumb.
Yeah, why
But
would you
why
have
would
it-
you have a thing that would
where it blows
automatically
itself
kill
up?
you? And it's not remote control where you can like do it remotely. Like you have to be in the car.
That would be like if the military made a tank. where if you pull a lever, the barrel points down directly at the
Into the
guy in the
cockpit.
tank and blows everyone in the tank up. Like, why would you build something like that?
What a good movie.
Oh, that was my favorite on-screen death of all time, just because
Alright.
it was so dumb.
All right, Sam. Fast 11. Everybody's back.
I
What are you expecting? You think it'll be better?
think it will be exactly the same.
Oh, Jason Statham's in this for one scene.
Yeah,
That-
but it's
that's
actually the
This-
same
this
scene from
movie
the end of F9,
has
though.
so many characters in it. We're like big stars and like important characters from previous movies will pop up for a second and then go away. Mostly because this movie is not a movie. It has zero resolutions. It's one giant first act,
Yeah.
and then it just ends.
So for
we set up like
context-
4 different plot lines, and none of them resolve. They're all just stopped.
So Joker Momoa's character is like, his goal is to kill every single member of Dom's family.
Yeah.
And anyone that's ever helped them. So Jason Statham, Hobbs, the Jason Statham's mom, like every single character
Who's in
that,
this?
that they've ever interacted
Presumably
with.
Rita Moreno, who's also in this.
Like any character they've ever interacted with, his goal is to kill them. So every character has to be involved in
How
the
many
story to some
Oscar
extent.
winners are in this movie?
And so it turns out that the post-credit scene from F9 is
Is the scene in the middle of this movie?
is in the middle of this movie where what's his name?
Jason Statham is just beating
No, the
up
other guy's name,
which guy?
the Asian guy.
Han?
Han goes to Jason Statham's character and he goes, I need to tell you something. And he goes, I don't want to talk to you. I want to beat up a dude in a bag. And then they fight for a little bit and then he goes, it's very important. The Joker's trying to kill you and your family. And then he goes, then I gotta go. And he just leaves. And so that scene was pointless.
So let's see. Brie Larson, Helen Mirren, Rita Moreno, Charlize Theron have all won Oscars. They're all in this movie.
What did Brie Larson win an Oscar for?
Room.
It's
It's the movie where she plays the lady trapped in a room with her son.
I don't know that movie.
Well, then I don't know why you asked.
Well, I asked 'cause maybe if you told me, maybe I'd remember, but I don't know that
It
movie.
was not for Captain Marvel. I don't.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was for a good movie. I don't know.
It is. The Room is good.
Steam Room?
Nope. That's what everyone says is good.
Well, do you know what the rating for Cuties is on Rotten Tomatoes?
Okay, that's not.
It's like 94%.
Why does that have to do with anything?
It just proves that reviews are
All right, then maybe it's
absolutely
terrible. I don't know. She won an Oscar, Sam.
Okay, anyway,
That's my point.
What's the next? What? Any other thoughts on this
Fast
movie?
X. It's fine.
Yeah, if you want to go see a
Patrick.
popcorn-
Oh, do you remember what part you fell asleep at?
now that we've talked about the whole movie,
You don't. What was the last thing you remember in the movie, though? Okay.
Was
Anything else?
specific
Any
character
specific
involved?
anything?
No.
I think he fell asleep towards like the very end.
No, he fell asleep like in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I woke him up during
I
the
went back to
scene
sleep.
where Jacob kills
Did
himself.
you get to the rocket car?
No, he was asleep for that. I woke him up right after it happened and
Oh.
he went back to sleep.
Patrick. Did you like the part where he carried that surfboard around that was a
I
mini
liked-
bat plane?
No, it was a canoe.
I liked when everyone pulled their guns on each other and then put them away and did a drag race.
Yeah, that was.
Oh,
Yeah,
there's
I
a
remember
whole
that.
track. There's so much happens in this dude. And none of it goes anywhere.
I like how he just goes to a place. Everyone's like,
Oh,
"Hey, it's Dom. He's
yeah,
the
it's
coolest.
my boy Dom.
Now we're gonna
baby!
kill you. No, we're gonna kill you.
Pro
Oh no, the Joker showed up and he's got $1 million. Let's race. Ram. Oh no, he exploded, but he saved the girl because she was hot.
Who's
on the other
related
guy.
to his old girlfriend, who's also the mother
And
of
then
his
that
son
movie,
from
and then that
3
scene
movies.
just ends, and
Yeah.
it's over, and it doesn't go anywhere. And the Joker leaves, and the money's gone. Who knows?
Danielle Melchior's in this.
And then he exploded.
That's a woman.
No, the guy who exploded.
Oh, his friend,
Yeah, that guy.
who may or may not be a character from a previous movie. Nobody.
Yeah, I don't
knows.
know. He died.
All right. Good job, Vin Diesel.
Good.
You should direct the next one.
He should. Genuinely, he should.
Why is he not?
Yeah,
why is he not directing?
Why isn't he
these?
already?
Other than the fact that the studio would have to give him like $50 million to do both
Imagine having to listen to Vin Diesel talk to you for like.
on a daily. That's why Justin Lin quit. Because Vin Diesel would show up late and doesn't know his lines.
Like imagine being one of the women actors in the movie.
Well,
And
the good thing is
the
if you're
whole time you just have to. When did this become beautiful?
Oh my god. No, the good thing about every other actor in this is that like they don't ever have to be on screen with him
Yeah, because he was buying.
because he's
himself the whole
never
movie.
with any other character. The only one I think he was like he only ever like directly interacts with Jason Momoa
And Letty.
Letty for a little bit, his son, and then
Jacob when they're driving.
Danielle Melchior, the street racer lady who's related to his old dead girlfriend from 2 movies ago.
Who he still has feelings for, but not really.
But not really.
Because he's with Letty now.
All right.
So it doesn't.
That's the show.
And that's that.
Good job, everybody. There was a lot
should
of
we
yelling.
talk about Tears of the Kingdom?
Nope.
Now that you've
There
played
was a
more?
lot of yelling. There was a lot of vitriolic anger. There was a lot of Patrick reviewing music on websites
and doing
and whatever he's up to. We're gonna watch The Flash now.
bug report for what?
MuseScore's bugging out.
All right.
You're,
great.
you're writing bug reports for MuseScore?
Yeah, because it's bugging out and I want it fixed.
All right. This was a terrible episode. One of the worst we've ever done.
Every episode is the worst.
We keep underdoing ourselves.
Yeah, I know.
On the bright side, our last week's episode has gotten 4 more views since we started.
Next week, The Little Mermaid.
Probably from
Are we
us
excited
season
for The
four.
Little Mermaid?
No.
That'll be the last
Technically,
Patrick
we can
episode.
see that
for
tomorrow,
a good
right?
while. If you want.
Patrick, you want to see Little Mermaid tomorrow?
Buy me a ticket.
No. You still have to
Out
go.
of money.
You're
Still
out of
have to
money.
go.
How are you out of money?
Patrick
Well,
is
ask your mom for
unemployed.
money.
All right. Good job. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. I want to.